Us new website and
Just saying, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, brother?
Nothing, man.
or you're in need of
You ready to talk about your faithful Royals?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, they're not mine. That offense is not mine.
Okay.
For your business today, dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with American Eagle.
As Pittsburgh prepares to welcome the nation to the unofficial beginning of football season, the city's kickoff celebration will begin with an unforgettable, invite-only night of music. The night before, Wednesday, April 22nd, at the Rivers Casino Event Center, featuring Jason Aldean, John Morgan, and Shane Prophet. Visit Odyssey.com/the night before to enter now for your chance to win this national contest. Prizes include round-trip airfare, a 2-night hotel stay, and a fan ticket party is Thursday, April 23rd at the Brooksider Sports Bar and Grill. AFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Happy Thursday, Kansas City. Beautiful morning. Gorgeous morning out there today, as they like to say in St. Louis, right? Gorgeous morning. Yeah, it's a beautiful day for everybody except Spirit Airlines. Oh, my goodness. Thank God we're not flying them. Yeah, this is our last show today. We're headed out to New York. And New York state of mind. You should be. You should be in a New York state of mind. You got less than 4 hours. We're out of here on a plane to New York. Going to do some touring tomorrow, go to a couple of Yankee Royal games, and then see a Broadway show with my parents, and then bounce back on Sunday morning. And we'll be back in time for noon baseball on Sunday here in Kansas City. So looking forward to it. Nathan, you're here.
Good morning. Yeah, it's too bad William Joel's no longer playing shows out there in New York City, but I guess you've got the best Billy Joel impersonator this side of the Statue of Liberty going to New York with you, Dusty.
Good call on you. Yes, very much so. Yeah, he's from Long Island, yes. Bruce Springsteen, who we're going to see tomorrow, is from the Shore, Jersey Shore, Freehold, New Jersey, but we'll go to Asbury Park, and we'll see the Stone Pony tomorrow. And Dusty will lay flowers and bow, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, I wish I could be there just to see that happen. Yeah.
Right. It's always fun. Dusty said to me yesterday, do you look forward to going back there? And I said, well, it's a complicated question, and it really is, because, number one, do I look forward to going to New York City? Yeah, it's a place like any other, right? You've never been, so this is going to be your first opportunity. I am so excited to see your reaction and to see, like, holy cow, I'm in, like, New York. Like, when you take somebody there the first time, it's really cool. And then you start showing them the things that everybody sees all the time. Oh, okay, I see that on TV all the time. It's really cool. And I say it's a complicated answer because air travel has made it so freaking difficult just to do anything normal anymore, right? Like, I know that everybody's back to work and the TSA thing is all handled and we're moving in the right direction, but it's still the whole process of traveling. They have made this as difficult and as, like, it puts you in a bad mood before you even get there because of the behaviors of everybody that show up to the airport is to a different level as well. And so you're always in this, like, a bad mood when you go to the airport because you know what you're going to be dealing with. And so, yeah, it's a complicated question. Yes, I love going to New York. There's no place like it on earth. But the whole travel process, and then I'm like, I'm mapping out our ride tonight from the hotel or from the airport to the hotel. That's only 4 miles from LaGuardia, 45 minutes.
That's a loaded up drive from LaGuardia. And on that drive, Dusty, you'll see apartment buildings bigger than you've ever seen, and you'll be like, whoa, like this. Yeah.
And I'll be like, seize the bar, let's go, driver.
Yeah. Bob's head's out the window yelling at the lady in front of him. He's not paying attention to what you are.
Like New York. Well, you would, but we're not renting her car. And because we're going to take the train to Asbury Park tomorrow. Is it subway down there, I guess? It's stepped down in Suicide. Is it really? I saw it on social media. Oh, okay, that'd be kind of cool. I wonder if we can find a channel. We'll go. It's very difficult. No, there's not a good sense. Why? We have a subway. Oh, yeah, we do have a subway, yes. Poop Capriati's maybe, but not a good thing. Chain restaurants, probably not going to happen much. Not going to do that. We're not doing Bubba Gump in Times Square or anything like that. So, we'll do New York stuff. But I'm excited to take you. I'm always excited for somebody to see their first experience. Like any other.
I'm really excited for obviously like the Jersey Shore to go like see that and like hear like because basically like this is really late for those of you that hate it. But like I want to like take lyrics and songs that I've heard from Springsteen and look around and be like, this is what he's talking about here. This is what he means by this. Now that will make more sense. But I'm way more excited to go to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, and that's going to be great. Your first experience at Yankee Stadium. It's a place like none other, man. Like
I
really,
hate the Yankees. I really do. I hated franchise. Be a Missouri fan, right? Like Carrington Harrison's a perfect example. Hates Kansas, so he claims. But when he goes to the games, he will tweet once every 2 or 3 years. If you've never been and you get the experience of the pregame antics of self-walking out, the video, the chants, you're like, you get it. You get why when you're a kid going to college, you're like, you know what, I don't know where I'm going to go between like Mizzou, Kansas, Creighton, I don't know, whatever. And then you're like, well, go watch a KU game as a like 18-year-old kid. Right. Imagine being, back in the day, of course, being recruited by somebody in Kansas. You get to go see that video happen. You're like, okay, I get it. Like, I'm going to go see, like, okay, I get Monument Park. I get that now. I get the high rise. I get, like, why every game it's like a theater because they chant every single player's name. So really excited for that. Really excited for the food, too. Like, we're in the Midwest. Like, you know, there's people that probably come from the East Coast, West Coast. They get here, they have a fur tin.
Of course,
and they're like, holy, you know.
You guys doing Katz's and stuff while you're there? What's
maybe after we go drinking, it's a 24-hour place. It's got to soak it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like their town topic?
No, it's a deli. It's like the world's most famous Jewish deli. And you know, corned beef and pastrami, and it's where Harry met Sally. You know, I'll have what she's having. You know, that restaurant. So I always like to take people there. My kids are sick and tired of going to Katz's, but I love it. It's one of my favorite places in which to eat. And I will say that. And so when you go places, like for me, you always eat the food that's indigenous to that place, right? And so for years, we would go places and everybody would say, oh, there's a great barbecue. I don't care about barbecue restaurants in New York. I really don't. Like when we were there for the World Series, you're like, oh, there's a barbecue place. No, I'm not in New York. I'm not going to eat barbecue in New York when you come from the mecca of barbecue, right? It's like eating pizza here. It's like, well, pizza and bagels in New York. You do that there, right? You don't eat that anywhere else. Just like barbecue. I'm not going somewhere and having barbecue. I'm not interested in doing that. I get all the barbecue I want here from Smokehouse, right? I don't need to go to New York City and dive into the barbecue side of things. We can do that anywhere.
got to get a bagel, go to a deli, a street hot dog. Yeah, you got to get a hot dog on the street.
Great, and I love you. I love New York shirt.
Yeah.
Everything that pisses Steven Spector off.
Get a picture with Elmo. Pay $20 to get a picture with Elmo in Times Square. Yeah. Yep.
All the tourist stuff, and that's what you're supposed to do. People always say these are just tourist traps. No kidding, because everybody wants to see them.
Because I don't ever go to New York again.
I don't know. You just don't know, right? I'm the same way as you. The first year I went to River Falls, Wisconsin was the summer of 2001. And I thought to myself, boy, I really don't know how long I'm going to be doing this job, or I've never been to Wisconsin before. We had an off day. So I drove to Lambeau from River Falls. That's a 4-hour drive. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be this close again. Drove over to Lambeau, checked out that, went all the way back. And it's not an interstate. You're driving on state highways, and you're going through the north woods of Wisconsin. And so,
also in territory unknown.
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea where I was, but like, I'm this close to Lambeau. I got to go see it. So, yeah, you do those things. You do the tourist attraction things. You try to do everything in a city when you're there. You never know if you're going to be back again.
I'm excited to see what your reaction to Yankee Stadium is, Dusty. When I was there, the game that started off, I'm like, this is a corporate environment. These people aren't into the game. It's Yankee Stadium. This is awesome, but the crowd is kind of dull. And then later in the game, the crowd starts to buzz. The Yankees were coming back. There's that whistle after they strike players out. So obviously you'll be rooting for the road team. So, you might hate those noises and those cheers and those sounds. But I'm interested to see if you like the atmosphere or not. It's kind of a controversial place for people who hit a lot of stadiums because it's a very famous stadium, but a lot of people hate on the crowd there. So they're focused on things other than the game. So
I mean, that's certainly a big sporting event anywhere now. You look at the crowd, people are always on
Yeah.
their phone, not paying attention and worried about other things. You know, it's Yankee Stadium, but it's not old Yankee Stadium. That's what I always tell people. Nothing will ever be old Yankee Stadium, right? They win and you're leaving and Sinatra's playing and everybody's cheering. And it's like when you leave Yankee Stadium for a baseball game, it just feels like you just witnessed something big.
yes. It does. And the look, we're going to get downtown baseball here too. It sounds like soon, right? The location of that stadium is super cool. Just right on the, I think that'd be the south end of the Bronx right there as you're coming into the neighborhood. It's a great atmosphere. I really enjoyed it.
There's nothing better than baseball than a game. A day game on a Saturday, which we get to do.
Whew.
It's special.
Heck yeah.
Dude, let's just be real. How are the Babes for you? Okay.
So my answer was both ends of the spectrum.
You went to the city, Manhattan.
That's right.
Yeah.
Downtown New York.
So this is when you go to Asbury Park, there's a store in the hotel before you get to the boardwalk. That's a ton of pictures of Jersey and fishing. Let's go there. I hope so, man. I can't wait. We'll watch the Royals in the Bronx.
Yep.
How many runs do they score while you guys are there, you think? Sir? Oh.
The Royals this weekend against New York as a team. For MJ Melendez in New York for the Mets.
MJ had 2 hits last week.
Was he the only one that knocked in a run against Shohei yesterday? I think he was, wasn't he? Ugh.
Talk briefly about those Royals on their side, but also, it is Friday. Nathan's with us. Bob, myself, we're with you. And then we'll be back Monday. You'll be here Monday, right? Or
Yeah, I'm here. I think until Matt gets back. If he comes back, right? South Beach? Yeah, he might not come back, I guess.
I'll bring a hot dog back. No, you won't. Okay. Anyway, coming up, we're going to talk about a player confident in help, but we do need to talk a little bit about Kansas City because Tide is running out. It's playing next on 65 Fan, your home Kansas City.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your
If
home
you
for
need
Eastern
spots for me tomorrow, there's a bunch in the Fescoe folder from around middle of March that I recorded.
Sweet. Thank you. Cool.
Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you, my friend, over at Heartland Men's Health, we're celebrating all month long here in the month of March for Men's Health Month. I want you to get the Heartland Men's Health to start even better because we've got some sluggish opportunities going on here. Like, it's hard to get up in the morning. If you're not seeing those games at the gym, maybe staying committed is tough right now. My friends at Heartland Men's Health can help you out. Those symptoms of that sluggishness, not getting those gains at the gym, they're often signs of low testosterone. Heartland Men's Health is also helping you go further with healing targeted body composition. Featuring peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, more. All of a sudden, energy, metabolism, enhanced recovery, and accelerate fat loss. And with low-key treatments combined with body composition programs, most men notice feel improvement. They got more energy, they're focused better, they're improving their sleep, better workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So go see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health. There's no need to wait. Don't go another year with low T. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence, Blue Springs, Lee Summit, and North Kansas City. Call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Kelly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale is Before our sale ends, take care of your car. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
Liberty Mutual, customize this song for you. Like your car insurance is custom to Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limo's, well, you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, yeah.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge with our skills-based education programs designed to move your career forward. Explore more than 135 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, and more. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they chose you as a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Everything you knew about reaching customers online is being rewritten. Time to rethink your approach. Outcomes from Viant finds real customers, not impressions, not clicks, customers. Our AI maximizes every dollar of your budget against the outcomes that matter most and proves it happened. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
By now, you've heard that Booth Creek Wagyu steaks and beef are the best tasting, most flavorful cuts you've ever had. And if you don't believe us, try it for free. Try Booth Creek Wagyu anytime at 95th and Knoll or 135th and Metcalf. Stop by our store and we'll prepare a free mouth-watering sample of your selected choice cut. Heart-healthy, low-cholesterol, authentic American, full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef. We know you'll love it as much as we do. Crafted for exceptional beginnings. Join the Booth Creek Wagyu revolution at boothcreekwagyu.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Ford has announced $399 payments on Mustang, Bronco Sports, and Mavericks. $499 payments on Broncos, Explorers, Rangers, or an F-150. And only Shawnee Mission Ford offers a $500 gas card on top of those low payments. Shawnee Mission Ford on a mission to do more in 26.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DMN Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
On the Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown. This is 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown. 15 minutes. Kansas side 70 eastbound from 435 to 670. 11-minute drives. Allen, Car, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Back out of here on 96.5 The Fan. Royals in action today, avoiding a sweep from the Detroit Tigers. Gosh,
He delivers. Fastball laced toward third. Skip past Garcia down the left field line toward the corner. Pagano around second. He gets the third. Corner waves him around. Relay to the plate. Wick fires. Garcia cuts it off. Pagano dives in safely. It's an RBI double for Dylan Diggler. And the Royals, who entered this inning with a slim 1-0 lead, trail for the first time tonight, 2-1.
That is Jake Eisenberg on the call there on 96.5 The Fan. Play-by-play announcer for the Royals. Okay, I know it's laughable at times, or you can have the joke and conversation like this guy could get himself out of wet paper sack. But we were watching the game last night and doing our trivia thing, and boy, it felt a lot like the other night. Here we are, slim lead, no offense, great starting pitching.
Great starting pitching. I mean, there's been nobody better in baseball, guys, than what we got from a starting pitching standpoint this year.
What, Lugo Reagans go 12, no, they go 6-5. So, yeah, they go 11 innings, give up 2 hits, no runs. And Bob and I are kind of going back and forth last night as we're, debating over whatever. And, we hear this more than you hear anything right now. A, it's early. B, the offense will come around. Okay, well, here's the reality of it that Bob sent me last night. You have 68 more losses left on your schedule.
That's it. You got 68 more losses to go.
So it's early.
Yeah.
But damn it, it's not. And you have 68 more losses that you can afford, I think, at most, that you can have the rest of the season. So, yes, it is a long season, and 68 losses from here on out, that is a lot of losses. But the thing that you hear from people right now is that it's early, don't worry, it's always a slow start. I mean, we're halfway through April, and we've seen the same offensive production for 18 games, and it's another series loss. You split with the White Sox. You lose with the Tigers. You lost the series against Cleveland, if I'm not being wrong here. And now you've lost 4 in a row. Like, your team is flat. And there is something seriously wrong with this offense. And unfortunately, the only answer is your 2 superstars on your offense are absolutely MIA.
Yeah, they are.
Vinny Pasquantino and Salvador Perez are damaging this team, and they should not be doing that. And if I were being charged, and this is where the biased homerisms come out, if I was going to flip this lineup, because clearly it's not the messages you're getting through to whoever needs to hear it. And I understand there's going to be people that are going to say, fire the hitting coach, fire this guy. It's not happening. What needs to happen is that your damn guys that you have the most trust in, that you extended for 2 years, that you avoided arbitration with, that you put your trust in, that you top-loaded your roster with, are absolutely terrible right now. Salvador Perez and Vinny Pasquantino are the definition of cannot hit out of a wet paper sack. And that's a huge problem. I mean, that's like if Patrick Mahomes had a start to the season and Travis Kelce had a start to the season, and they were technically the worst quarterback and the worst tight end in football. You'd be like, why are we 0-4? It seems like we have the stuff there where your quarterback has thrown 8 interceptions and 1 touchdown, and your tight end leads the league in drops with 6, and we're in week 4. And that's it. He's at 50 yards total in the season. The Chiefs would be terrible. They would. It's a fact. Vinny Pasquantino and Salvador Perez are anchoring this team's lineup. And it's bad. And not everybody is doing their job. This offense is very bleak. But if I could do it, where I'm at the point right now, because I'm dead serious, I'm here. Epic, shake it up. I don't care. I don't want to hear, the antics and the whatever. I would go Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., Carter Jensen, Shaq Caglione. I don't care after that. I really don't. And the reason I say that is because, damn it, the veterans that you have trust in aren't doing it. And Cax had a fantastic game last night.
Cax was really good last night.
I'm not living
a really
in,
nice baseball game.
And I'm not living in the moment. I'm living in the shake-up moment. Because if I was Salvador Perez and Vinny Pasquantino, and they put a 22, 21-year-old kid in the spot that I'm supposed to be in, and they start producing, and if that doesn't wake your ass up, then I don't know what would. But maybe in-house competition and shaking things up, because the way that I've seen Caglione recognize the baseball this year tells me that his eyes have arrived. The power will come. Right now, ain't nobody got power. Bobby ain't got it. Sal ain't got it. Vinny ain't got it. Ain't nobody got power except baby Carter Jensen. And I think all of this will come. And why the hell not? You lost the series. You lost 4 in a row. If you go into Yankee Stadium off a sweep, the sharks in the water of New York will feast on the blood that you are leaking after this series, and it won't be fun.
Well, and you know, really it all comes down to, and it's easy to sit here and blame hitting coaches and stuff like that. And I'm so past that. I'm not going to sit here and ever complain about what's going on from a hitting coach standpoint, because the two guys that need to produce are the two guys that you've counted on. Salvador Perez is a Hall of Famer, okay? He's not getting the job done. That is not Alex Zumwalt's fault, that the Hall of Famer is 0 for 21 with runners in scoring position. It's also not his fault he's reached year 13 now in Major League Baseball, and we may be seeing, to steal a line from Carrington, dissipation in Salvador Perez. We may see him falling back to the pack and being a guy that just the game has passed him by. I'm not ready to say that yet, but we have to look at all the factors out there. Salvador Perez is not hitting 137 or whatever it is because of Alex Zumwalt. Salvador Perez is a professional Hall of Fame baseball player that needs to figure it out. And
Pasquantino had a hit last night, but the guy's still hitting 152 on the season and batting number 3rd in your lineup. That's not on the hitting coach. That's on Vinny Pasquantino. This organization awarded him in the offseason with a nice little contract, right? They're going to give him, $11 million over the next couple of years to take care of him. They rewarded Vinny Pasquantino because they believe in Vinny Pasquantino. Well, Vinny needs to go out there and start producing as well. And I was talking to somebody yesterday or 2 days ago in baseball, like, oh, Vinny always starts slow. I go, yeah, but I'm tired of these excuses. Eventually, you have to start fast and you have to play from wire to wire. And, you know, the slow start right now, that's the greatest baseball excuse. Oh, it's early and it's a slow start. But you really put yourself behind the 8 ball, because I do think 83 and 79 is the floor of where you need to be to get into the postseason. And if 83 and 79 is the floor where you need to be and to get into the postseason, then you only have 68 more losses to play with over 6.5 months left of this season. And so the Royals now have yes, it's early, but have also put themselves behind the 8 ball. And when you start saying, well, they could win a couple in a row here or there, they're not going to win a couple in a row here or there until that offense comes around. And really, it's not the entire offense. It's 2 players in that lineup. Like, we can't sit here and blame Lane Thomas. We can't sit here and blame, whoever else out in the outfield, for not doing the job the right way when Vinny Pasquantino and Salvador Perez are not hitting. And that's what it ultimately comes down to.
Bobby.
And Bobby's hitting 254, and I think maybe what we should do, I think there's a lot of pressure Bobby's putting on himself because nobody else is doing anything right now. You had made the comment to me yesterday, flipping Bobby and Michael. I would do that as well. I would, and we asked Q about it. I would put Bobby at the top of the lineup. He's walking, and Michael Garcia can hit, so you put him at number 2, and now you have an RBI opportunity because Bobby is going to get on more often than not if he's batting at the top of the lineup. Nobody's pitching to him anyway. The only reason he's getting out is because he's getting himself out because he's trying to do too much. You put Bobby at the top of the lineup at number 1, I guarantee you it takes a lot of pressure off of him because he's going to get on base. And now you're on base with nobody out, and now you have Michael Garcia up behind you. And that guy could spray the ball all over the diamond. And now you can put something together with those 2 guys at the top of the lineup. But again, it dissipates. Until Salvador Perez and Vinny Pasquantino start hitting, there's nothing more that this lineup can do to try to get better. You can't have 2 of your biggest bats as cold as ice. And they're not willing to sacrifice right now.
Before the season, we said if Cags and Carter hit, this team's going to win the division. If those guys break out, I mean, I heard Vern say that 100 times in the month of March. They're hitting. I mean, Carter has shown the power. He's shown spurts of being a very good player. Cags' OPS is in the 750s after his 3 hits last night.
Yeah.
Everyone's satisfied with Kyle Isbell's production, Michael Garcia's production. So the only spots in the lineup left outside of your superstars are left field and second base. So for me, it's two options. It's one, either the superstars need to play like superstars, or you're mad at the front office that more wasn't done at the left field or second base position in the offseason.
And you can be mad about that. You absolutely can. Yeah, that's not the hitting coach. They didn't do much this offseason to get better as an organization. They stayed the same as the organization. You took Hunter Renfroe and you replaced him with Lane Thomas. You took whoever else and you replaced him with the other guy out there that you have in the outfield. You didn't do anything different to become a different baseball team. Yes, you did. You became different because of names, but you didn't become a better baseball team. Right. But also, too, I mean, you're so top-heavy in salary right now, and that's where you are with Waka and Lugo and Bobby and Salvi and Vinny. All those guys are so top-heavy with salary that there's not a left in the budget to give you better ancillary players around you. And you don't need those ancillary players around you if the guys that are getting paid are doing their job. And that's what it comes down to. This is a Vinny Sal issue, and that's really it right now.
That's where I am, too.
And I will say this, and I don't want people to think that, like, I'm getting paid by J.J. Piccolo, but he did everything that you asked him to do last year. 100%. He extended Vinny Pasquantino. You all, gun to your head, would have said, please get it done. I don't want to see this go any further in arbitration.
And maybe he did it the right way by not extending him further than what they did, too.
And not only that, everybody, I might have been the only one that questioned the Salvador Perez extension. Because I'm like, man, catcher, I get it. He's the captain. He's the second greatest Royals of all time. Is this that pivotal line? I'm not going to give myself an applaud, but everybody was in the majority of being like, yes, Salvador Brack finishing his career. Okay. Garcia, extension. Seth Lugo. At the time, you loved it. Just the end of his season, and even though I think he was injured, it didn't look great, right? Brought in Michael Waka, who might be one of the most underrated pitchers in the American League for the last 2 years. So things have happened in the way that you want it. And with that rotation and then the names that I've said, this team should be putting up 3.5 to 4 runs a game a night. And you drafted Kaggs at 6th overall in the draft. You have Carter Jensen. And the rest of the guys, we shouldn't be talking about Lane Thomas. Like, it should just be like, yeah, that's a guy. Like, oh, my God, sorry, your lineup isn't the Dodgers where it's powerful from 1 through 9. And I think the other thing that's in concern, and I don't know this to be true, because I'm with the text line. I would love to see Carter kind of move in more and take that role than Salvador Perez, be in there every day. Like, the way I would look at it is I'd have Carter play games 1 and 2 behind the dish, and then Sal can play the getaway game, as opposed to the past where it's been Sal plays games 1 and 2, and then the younger guy or Fermin comes in the getaway game. Maybe that's Sal's role, but maybe Sal's having a hard time realizing that in his life.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, dude, like, there's going to be people in your life that you're going to work with that you're going to know that they're going to hit a certain age where you're like, man, you didn't used to be this guy. Like, why do you, it's time. Like, your role is no longer this role. You're no longer 26-year-old Salvador Perez. You're 36-year-old Salvador Perez. You're our 7th hitter now. That's hard to fathom. We're going to have this conversation in the NFL season coming up in about 3 months where it's going to be like, hey, 87, you ain't Travis Kelce that's 26. You're now Travis Kelce, who's 38. You're our 4th option in the offense.
Hopefully we get to that point, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get as much real as I can from both local teams. And maybe Sal's having a hard time realizing that. Because Bob asked him, like, hey, yesterday he asked you, does he ever give, like, Sal a day? And I'm sure there's times where it's like, Sal, hey, man, what do you think? No, I'm ready to go. Right. I'm good.
I mean, everyone that's managed Sal throughout his career says that. I tried to bench him, tried to take him out.
And he just showed up behind the plate.
I think at the time it was like, dude, no, really, you played 12 in a row. It's like, I know, but it's like, man, you are crazy.
Yeah,
and now it's like, I tried, man. He's not listening to me.
Yeah, what are we supposed to do in that situation, right? And so the disabled list is what you do. And
that's all. I don't know that to be true. I'm just saying that's the vibe I get as to why, like, maybe he's not.
The difference between, though, Salvi and Travis Kelce is Kelce hasn't slowed down. I mean, people want to say, oh, he didn't have 1,000 yards last year. Not many people do. But Travis really has not slowed down. And especially last year, with no other weapons of which to speak, no running game, no nothing, Travis Kelce still went out there and played. Like I don't look at Salvi and Kelce in that same boat until Travis Kelce starts to dissipate. Now, it's early into the season, and it's only 20-some games. What are we, 18, 7 and 11? So that 19 19 games into the season, so we're almost 20 games into the season, okay? I'll give you that, but it's got to start warming up now. The weather has turned. It's starting to get warmer outside. You're getting more accustomed to seeing major league pitching that, is in big league ballparks. Offenses around baseball have stagnated a little bit this year, but at the end of the day, it comes back to two people, and that's it. It is not Alex Zumwalt's fault. It is not the manager's fault. Now, if you want to complain about, pinch hitting for Kyle Isbell last night, you could have a conversation about that. He's one of your hottest hitters. I don't understand that move. Again, not my cup of tea for the way that we do things nerd-wise sometimes in baseball. That was not a move I would have made last night. But if Salvi and Vinny are hitting, we're not worried about making moves like that in the ninth inning to try to scrape across one run. Salvi and Vinny need to start hitting. And that's where, for me, the conversation ends on this team. Because everybody else, the bullpen needs to get better too. But you got great starters. You've got a lot of guys that are starting to pull their weight. But the two biggest guys on the team, the two power guys on this team, are a combined 0 for the world at this point. And those are the two guys that need to step it up.
Would you be against putting Kaggs and Carter at 3 and 4?
I'm not against any.
I'm not against anyone. Not at all. No, not at all. I have no problem with that.
Vinny ninth, whatever you want to do. I don't. If it works, and my gripe is not with J.J. Piccolo. I just think he's ahead of Q and Zumwalt in the line, because if you are upset with the production of this team, I think you're upset at the construction of the roster.
Sure.
What we say the last 2 years, hey, if Bobby, Vinny, Salvi, and Mike Hill don't do it, no one's going to do it. My ask of J.J. in the offseason was stop that. Fill out the bottom half of this lineup, and Kaggs, Carter, and Isbell, they're hitting.
Yeah.
So like you have production from that area in the lineup you did not have previously. I'm fine with the roster construction, but that's your gripe. If you're not willing to look at Vinny or Salvi, that's your gripe. I think that's just the manager, the hitting coach are farther down the list. Guys, you're going into Detroit, division rival that's kicked you around recently. Okay, you're missing Tarek Skubal. Your starting pitchers give up 1 run in 2 outings. They score 2 runs in both these games. Kaggs has a 3-hit game. He's on third with nobody.
A triple with nobody
all these
out.
Things happen. You lost both of those games. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough.
That's scary when you say it that way too, Nathan. When you go through it all and you look at all the stuff that they've done, all the great accomplishments that they have, but the record is the record, and that's where you get frustrated because they're doing all of these good things. Like I don't know what more you can ask for on this pitching staff. My God, can we give these guys a standing ovation? I mean, the way that these guys go out there and pitch every single night. All the Royals have to do is score 2, and they have an opportunity to win that game. But they're not doing that again, and we're going to continue to rehash. But it ultimately, and where I'll leave this conversation, is that until Vinny and Salvi start to produce, this lineup and this team can't reach the ceiling that people have for them.
Don't forget, this year with the Kansas City Royals, we have partnered with KCUC, who is donating $50 to Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives. At KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. You see the best in KC. Schedules day at kcuc.com. Let me ask you something. I know you guys are a lot like me when it comes to fatigue on the draft.
Getting there. Yep.
You saw the report Daniel Jeremiah had about Jeremiah Love possibly being at 9 and the Chiefs taking him. Marcus Freeman was on my future wife show up in Adams with Kay Adams talking about this Mr. Love.
Daniel Jeremiah, someone I'm sure you know, a friend of mine, he keeps saying he could be a slot receiver, that he's like the best slot receiver in this draft. Is that true?
He could be a slot receiver. He could be a cornerback. He could be a safety, punt return, kick return. I mean, he's just one of those guys with a unique skill set that would have been successful in any position he played. He has such rare balance, speed, physicality, explosiveness, all those terms that the NFL teams are looking for. He has elite skill sets in all those areas. And so he just happened to be running back. He happened to be a running back that we could use in the pass game, but he could definitely be a wide receiver in the NFL.
So before we get started, I understand that's his former coach. It is that time of the year. You gotta plug, man. You gotta let your boys eat, right? Big platform with Kay Adams. But if he is like a Christian McCaffrey type, because that's what I hear, like could play any position, super athletic, freakish, whatever it may be. do you have a different conversation with yourself about the mock draft going, what if he is there at 9? What if he is Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, see, that's the beauty of this whole thing. Like, if you could see the future, Dusty, and tell me, if you draft Jeremiah Love, he is going to be exactly what Christian McCaffrey has been, I'll say, for the 49ers. I am 1,000%.
I mean, he was great for the Panthers, yeah.
But it's like Mike Trout being great for the Angels or Shohei Ohtani being great for the Angels. You didn't see anything about the guy. Now he's with the Dodgers. People are acting like this is a new player in baseball. I think we're doing that with Christian McCaffrey. At least I am. You didn't Carolina.
Definitely. He was very good there.
Carolina, he was very good there, but also very nondescript. Now he goes to San Francisco. It's a premier team in the NFL, premier coach, couple of Super Bowls. Boom, there he is. And you're seeing what Kyle Shanahan does. If you are guaranteeing me that, I am 1,000,000% in on Jeremiah Love. 1,000,000% in on Jeremiah Love. The problem is we can't guarantee that, right? We don't know that he's going to be that guy. You'd like to think he's going to be that guy, but man, if you could guarantee we're getting Christian McCaffrey 2.0, hell yes, I'm in for Jeremiah Love. Yeah.
Yeah, the question is, would you take Christian McCaffrey at 9? Absolutely.
Yes,
I'd take him at 9. But you also could end up with a Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 32 because he was a good receiver out of the backfield, too, at LSU, is what I heard. Now, I think Jeremiah Love's better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm not trying to get that twisted. But this Chiefs team, do I want them to take the risk on him being a CMC? No, not with the needs on the D-line and in the wide receiver room. I'm not.
Yeah, and the defensive backs, for that matter, too. There's a lot of needs clearly on this football team, but there is also the question of, is this a generational player? And I don't know the answer to that.
Is McCaffrey?
If he is, I think so. Yeah, I think definitely McCaffrey is. Yeah, he is. I mean, there's not many of those like Patrick Mahomes is, Travis Kelce is, Myles Garrett is, Christian McCaffrey is.
McCaffrey's a guy that if the MVP did not have the quarterback bias, he would have one, if not two MVPs.
At least, yeah, he could probably. He's generational. Yeah, he is. He is a generational talent. Yeah, there's not many of those guys out there, but I think he does fall into that category. So yeah, if you could guarantee me that of Jeremiah Love, hell yes, I'm taking him with that pick.
So what do you want more? You want fast defensive edge rushers, or you want playmakers that can just make Patrick Mahomes be that much more of a wizard?
I found this stat yesterday about the Chiefs' defense was top 5 in amount of touchdowns they gave up last year, which is good. I mean, you're top 5 fewest touchdowns last year given up by this Chiefs defense. Do they have a defensive problem, or was it really truly a major offensive problem for this team? Because that got me thinking a little bit different yesterday. Like, this is the problem. This is why we need the draft, because I'm overthinking everything and overanalyzing everything.
Well, the other thing, too, with the defense that may not show up is they couldn't get off the field. It was like 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 8s.
Right,
like
3rd and 15s, 3rd and 20s.
They might have gotten field goals, but how many of those were in the fourth quarter late in the game where it's like, just get off the field?
Yeah.
Now it's a 10-point game, not a 7.
Yep.
Coming up next, Troy Aikman and Andy Reid almost became best friends. I'll explain. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Hy-Vee have a way to make life easier for you. In fact, they have a way to make life easier for everybody, and they do it for us on a weekly basis. I love going to Hy-Vee. I love going up and down the aisles and shopping and seeing all the fuel savers and the lower prices and all of the great stuff that Hy-Vee has to offer. But sometimes I just don't have the time to get to Hy-Vee. We've got 2 kids. We've got 4 sports. We've got school. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. And sometimes I just say, hey, Hy-Vee, do all of that shopping for me, and I'll just pick it up, or better yet, have it delivered to my house, because Hy-Vee is here to make life easy for everybody. So just download the Hy-Vee app or go to Hy-Vee.com. Choose your store, select your items, and Hy-Vee will do all of the shopping. All you have to do is pick it up or have it delivered to your home, which is free, by the way, with my Perks Plus membership. So Hy-Vee's doing it all. Saving time, saving money. What could be better? Only at Hy-Vee.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company.
where fine jewelry is always crafted with care no matter the price. Mother's Day, birthdays and graduations, weddings and anniversaries, the new job you got, and even the one you didn't. Give a birthstone necklace, a heart-shaped locket made in Italy, or high-quality diamond studs you can trade up every year. At Shane Company, we have something for everyone, because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
At Odyssey, we believe in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce. We also value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be notified of all our open positions. That's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for all our listeners, please visit odysseyinc.com/careers for a list of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99. Limit supply. See store for details. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
96.5 The Fan's draft coverage is brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, the Leavenworth PD, and the Salvation Army Civic Breakfast. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by New Century Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just 20 minutes south of Kansas City, where you'll always pay less in Paola. Kansas side 635 northbound, very heavy, just crawling from K5 up to the bridge with construction. You're down to 1 lane. New Century Ram, Jeep, and Dodge in Paola keeps it simple. Honest deals without big city overhead. Shop new and used cars, trucks, Rams, and Jeeps. And for 2026, the powerful V8 Hemi is back in Ram trucks. Just 20 minutes south of the city, could save you thousands. Online at New Century Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Right back where we were before you lost us on the commercials, but we're here, 96.5 The Fan. Looks like a gorgeous day in Kansas City. Not a cloud in the sky, a nice peaceful sunrise. Nathan, Bob, Dusty, all with you today. So I thought this was interesting because Troy Aikman's a name that, he doesn't get used kindly around Kansas City parts. He was the guest on New Heights this week. Pretty funny story about Troy Aikman and Andy Reid.
A close friend of mine, Andy Reid, says that he called you in 2002?
Yeah.
while you were on the Fox broadcast to see if you maybe be interested in playing for the Philadelphia Eagles.
What's this?
We were at Old Jack Murphy Stadium. I was in the three-man booth with Collinsworth and Joe Buck. Late in our second quarter of the game, we did a game break that Donovan McNabb had just broke his leg.
Oh, my gosh.
And the Eagles were playing really well. They were number one in the NFC at the time. It was midseason. We're getting ready to go to halftime, and my producer, Richie Zion, says, hey, I've got a number that I need you to call at halftime, which he had never done. And I was in my third year in
the middle of a broadcast.
And I'm trying to call from the booth at halftime, and there's no cell service. So I walk out onto the concourse, because this was an old stadium. It was Old Jack Murphy. Yeah. So I'm out on the concourse. Fans are walking by. Of course, they're like, hey, F you, Aikman, Cowboys blow. He says, hey, it's Andy. And I said, Andy Reid? He said, yeah. He says, you heard what happened, didn't you? And I said, yeah, we just did a game break on it. And he goes, well, I want to talk to you. I said, Andy, I'm in the middle of a broadcast. And he said, no. He said, I know you are. He said, I need you to call me after the game. And I said, all right. So I called him after the game, and he was selling me on why I should come out of retirement and go sign with the Eagles and play for him.
Wow.
Obviously, I didn't do it. I said I didn't go.
You didn't pull the old man Rivers?
Yeah.
Detmer goes down the very next week. He gets hurt against 49ers. A.J. Feely takes over.
A.J. Feely.
He wins 5 straight games. McNabb comes back from his injury, and the Eagles went to the NFC Championship game that year. So it wound up being still an amazing year for him.
What a fun story, man.
So I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that Andy's wheeling and dealing minutes after his quarterback suffers an injury, or the fact that he was able to get Aikman's number that quickly from his producer on the set.
Right.
It's just insane story. And then the other part, the third part, Feely and whoever else he said broken one of the quarterbacks got injured again. They had to use their third quarterback, still get to the NFC Championship game with the Eagles.
Yeah, it shows you how good Andy Reid is as a head football coach, right? To be able to kind of navigate those waters, but also, too, take a backup quarterback. I don't know if there's a backup quarterback in the NFL today that you're looking at that go 5-0 and win games when your quarterback has a broken leg, and then the guy with the broken leg comes back, and you go to the NFC Championship game. And so it really does. It shows you how good a football coach that Andy Reid truly is and how he gets the most out of his players. And it also goes to show you, like, when we sit here and talk about players and, could this be a possibility for Kansas City? With Andy Reid here, legitimately every player is a possibility. For the man visited Michael Vick in Leavenworth, right, and brought him to Philadelphia when his jail time was up. The man called the booth. He called the booth in the middle of the game to try to recruit Troy Aikman to go play for the Philadelphia Eagles. So Andy Reid is willing to do anything he possibly can to get the best possible players on his team. And I think that's obviously great for us as Chiefs fans that he's willing to do that. But that, to me, that's one of the more incredible stories I think I've ever heard. He's calling the booth, begging Troy Aikman to play right in the middle of a game. I love it.
And I think the fact that it's Troy Aikman is something that we've glossed over so far in this segment, too.
Yeah.
Who do Eagles fans hate more throughout, especially at that point in their
Dallas
history?
Philly fans hate
Aikman?
each other, yeah.
You kidding me? And he's stepping out of the booth to call the head football coach of the Eagles.
Yeah.
Andy had this pull in 2002.
Right, exactly.
It's crazy.
In 2002, Andy Reid was already a big-time figure in the NFL.
Because he got to Philly in 98?
I think 99 was. I think 99 was his first year. Yeah.
Year 3.
Yeah, year 3, and they're already going to championship games. But look, he did it that fast here in Kansas City too.
Correct.
You find that right quarterback, you can turn this thing around. And I remember when they drafted McNabb, everybody booed that pick. Right? Oh, it was a bad pick. Everybody boos every pick anymore at the draft, but that was nobody liked that pick for Donovan McNabb, and he turned out to be just what Andy Reid needed at that time. And then Patrick Mahomes obviously turned out to be what Andy Reid needed just at this time here. But yeah, Andy Reid has done nothing but turn franchises around immediately and get them on the winning side of things. And at that point in time, he probably never even coached against Troy Aikman, because in 99, I think Aikman had retired by then. In 98, I think, is when Aikman ended up retiring.
He said, that was his third
year in the booth. So, 99, so maybe 1 year of seeing Troy Aikman play in the league where he was the head coach of the Eagles. But imagine that, being that Eagles fan who now all of a sudden has to cheer for a guy that you brutally rooted against every single day for the last decade.
Also, didn't Aikman kind of get forced to retire? Because didn't he have a lot of concussions?
I think he did, but at that time we weren't really dealing with concussions, at the way that we do now. At then it was like give some smelling salts and get your ass back in the game.
Which is even more impressive that like he was basically set to like retire and get out of the sport, and he's like, "Hey, you'll be fine."
Yeah, you'll be fine. Come back in. Well, I mean, Phillip Rivers came back after the 5-year, window where he decided to come back and play. He was okay. He was fine. I'm sure Troy Aikman, after 3 years of being retired, I think he would have been okay at that point in time, right?
So, Dusty, you wanted Tua to be the backup in case Mahomes couldn't go this year?
No. I told, I'm on record. I said when Tua got that one where he was the hands, and they were like giving out reports that there's a chance that he could just take the rest of his salary in full and leave, or he could keep playing. I was like, dude, get out. You're getting $140 million to walk away. And I get it, like you're gambling on yourself that you could make more in a longevity of your career. But like,
you're not.
You might make a lot of that money, but what's it going to be worth when you can't walk? You know what I mean? Like, or you can't move anything below your neck.
Yeah.
When you could get out at the age of 27 and have that money, and then maybe, kind of polish yourself to either be a figure in that sort of field to young athletes out there that might be having issues with their, cranium as well, or you could be a broadcaster because people will want your intake. And we know that football injuries happen all the time. We know Tua's been hurt multiple times, more than just concussions. And why not have that insight right there? Like, here's what you're doing when you're on the field in this situation. You're just told not to move. You're supposed to just lay, whatever it may be. So, I don't know. It's just impressive to me that, like, we'll never get numbers in our life. Andy Reid was like, give me that guy's numbers. Like, I got it.
Yeah. He probably went to the PR guy and go, because back in those days, they just had random phones. What's the phone number for the broadcast booth? 555-1. Okay, fine. He just called the booth.
No doubt.
I mean, back in the day, they used to have, like, in the old Metrodome, there was always a whiteboard behind the manager, and there's phone numbers on there. It said bullpen phone number. So in the middle of a Royals-Twins game, we called that number. Sure enough, the bullpen coach for the Royals answered the phone.
And speaking of
bullpen, we're like, ugh.
And speaking of answering the phone, we are only a week away from the draft.
Right.
Which means we are now 4 days away from Hotline Bink, which means you can call Bink, ask all your questions Monday, April 20th, Tuesday, April 21st. You say, what time do I get to do this, Dusty? I'll tell you, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday. Hey, Binkley, how long you been hot? Yeah, well, hey, here's the thing. I think this is a prank call. So you can do that because we are a week away from today, from the NFL draft. Somebody says on the text line, maybe your wife has chimed in. How lucky am I to start my day with the beautiful voice of Nathan Williams? Wow, what a
your
treat.
wife has chimed in. How sweet.
Must be her. Must be her.
He's like, it's definitely
not her. Not a chance.
Trade up talk, draft talk. We'll continue it here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Fescoe and Dusty.
Every Hardee's is closed. Well, that dog.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. And don't miss out on the special Royals props for every game. Download Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m. flight seemed like a good idea at the time. Because check engine lights always appear at the worst possible times. And because parking downtown is a nightmare. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hello, this is Jason Gudenkoff with Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas, the home of $50 over factory invoice. Since 1979, our $50 over factory invoice pricing has been saving Kansas City Ford buyers thousands of dollars when buying a new Ford. Our no-hassle $50 over invoice pricing has helped us become the #1 F-150 dealer in the state of Kansas. And now, for the 9th time, the #1 F-150 dealer in the entire Kansas City area. At Lewisburg Ford, we understand that price is important, but it doesn't stop there. There's other factors to this equation: trade allowance, financing, and customer satisfaction. We don't just say that we're great at taking care of customers, we actually do it. Ford Motor Company has awarded us with the President's Award 23 times. This is the top honor that they give their Ford dealers for customer satisfaction in sales and in service. So if you're in the market for a new Ford, come see us at Lewisburg Ford. You can reach us at 816-444-2300 or on the web at lewisburgford.com.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Draft Spotlights are brought to you by Liberty Mutual. Only pay for what you need. Cornell Tate from Ohio State is the best receiver in this draft, and he's going to be the first wide receiver taken. First of all, he's big. He's been well coached, as all the receivers that come out of Ohio State are, but he's a difference maker because of his ability to adjust to the ball in the air, his route running, and he's a game changer. He could go as early as 5 to the team in New York. He could go to Cleveland at 6 or the team in Washington at 7.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game. Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug! Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down. Hey! Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Traffic for geometry law. East side 70 westbound slow from Manchester. Traffic way to 31st with construction. Kansas side 635 northbound very heavy from K5 to the bridge. Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law. How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results. Mike's got this. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
What's up, KC? It's Chris Bubich. Tune in all season long to the play-by-play with Denny, Jake, Brian, and Stu right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Seven o'clock here on 96.5 The Fan. So don't forget tonight, Royals in action today at 12:10. So you get Josh Vernier at 11. Yeah. So Cody and Gold do an hour show. And then Vern's on at 11. And then you get Jay Binkley, Chris Unicero for Character Concerns Draft Special hosted tonight by those two. Every week they're going to do this because we are now officially a week away from the NFL draft in Pittsburgh, where Alex and Cody will also be at boots on the ground in Pittsburgh. So we'll have them there as well. Hoping to have Nate Taylor on a little bit later on today in the 8 o'clock hour to talk a little bit of draft there. But now we're still kind of in the mindset of you've probably got about 4 friends that you know that follow the draft, and they all 4 have a different idea of what they think Kansas City might do.
Absolutely.
And now there's some people out there thinking that maybe you could trade up.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a team that's like, you know what? We're hearing things that we want these guys that are going to be what we're fixing on our team around 18, 19, 20 or so. We're going to trade down, or we're going to go to 9 because we're going to take – and now maybe there's, a guy like the name of Mr. Bailey.
Yeah.
That could be an interesting conversation to have.
We talked a little bit about him yesterday and talked about a little bit of a trade up. Would you trade up for David Bailey if you had the opportunity to get it? I was a yes. Mac was a yes yesterday as well. Where you guys stand, we'll get to in just one second about trading up. But Bill Barnwell of ESPN, I think he's with right now, suggested that it would be a possibility for the Chiefs to trade up to get David Bailey, giving up number 9 and 29, getting like a second or third round pick back in return as well. And you move up and get arguably who is the best defensive end prospect out there, to me, looks the part. He's the guy that I look at and I say, that's the guy that we need. His body build, his length, his speed, his quickness. He's ripped. He is your Houston Texans defensive line. Like, he is that perfect guy to be what we need on this team. And I think that, in turn, would make George Karlaftis, we would hope anyway, better by having somebody like that on the opposite side who had almost 15 sacks last year in college football and led all of college football. So if you have an opportunity to trade up for him and he's the player that everybody believes he's going to be, and that's up to them to do the evaluations, I would 100% trade up to get David Bailey. Where do you guys stand on that one?
So to give up 9 and 29 to me is tough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously you're picking 2 overall because the article references that they would be trading with the Jets or the Arizona Cardinals.
Right, probably the Cardinals. I think the Jets are set on the linebacker from Ohio State. Why am I blanking on his name? Reese, yeah. I was going to say Arvell Reese. But so they're set on, I think, him right now at number 2. So you'd probably have to trade up to number 3 for the Cardinals. And I think you can swindle the Cardinals. They're stupid.
It's an open from Pick Your Draft podcast, right? This isn't an official report. It is kind of an open secret. The Cardinals are looking to trade out of the 3rd overall pick. They're a team that needs everything, but no one really jumps out at that position to them. The problem is no one's trying to move up, right? Because there's no generational talent,
exactly,
except for maybe Jeremiah Love in this draft. And if the Titans think they can get him at 4, then they're just going to sit there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Cardinals have allegedly expressed that interest in moving back. So it could be a realistic trade partner.
It could be. All right, so let me ask you guys this. 1 and 2 go. It's obviously Fernando Mendoza goes 1. Reese goes number 2. Now the number 3 team, the Arizona Cardinals, are on the clock. The commissioner says there's been a trade. The Kansas City Chiefs are now on the clock. They are picking number 3. Are you rooting for David Bailey or are you rooting for Jeremiah Love at that point in time?
Bailey. It's not close.
Okay, tell me why.
Just positional value.
Okay.
Positional need. Bob, I was with you. Even though Ken Walker is here, if I could hit a button and know that Jeremiah Love was going to have a Christian McCaffrey type career, I'd be fine using a top 10 pick on him, even though we'd have the crazy running back room in Kansas City, just an embarrassment of riches when you have no pass rushers. David Bailey looks like an athletic freak.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like the type of pass rusher this team hasn't had in a decade. And I look at him and I think, that's the guy that leads your pass rush for the next half of Mahomes' career after Chris Jones is gone.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. I think I would take David Bailey as well. If you're trading up to number 3, and as much as we like Jeremiah Love and being that Christian McCaffrey type, there are no guarantees. Now, there's no guarantees that David Bailey is going to be a superstar. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys that look the part that never live up to the part in the NFL, but I still think I would be taking my chances on a guy like that because I think he could be a quote-unquote, as we used earlier, that generational talent that we've been lacking on this defensive line for the last 5 years or so.
And for Pro Football Talk, they had a report yesterday that the Jets canceled their pre-draft visit with said name David Bailey.
Right.
Take it as you may. I think grain of salt. Either they know, right? They're like, hey, we're a week out. We know who we're taking
exactly.
at 2.
Yep.
Or we know who we're moving with to 2. So we're not going to have a chance to take this guy, or B, he's no longer what we're going to go for. They're going to go for somebody else. Now, obviously, they reattained Breece Hall, so they're not going running back. Quarterback, sure, I guess Geno Smith, and then maybe you go get Ty Simpson in the 2nd, unless you think somebody takes in the 1st, which means then you would then trade out of the 2nd. Maybe that's an option. But my thing is gosh, is David Bailey that much better than the 2 guys at Miami? Like, is he that much better than Reuben Bain? Is he worth getting rid of a draft pick and moving up 5-6 slots to take that guy? That's where I'm at.
I understand that, yes.
Because if Bailey significantly jumps off the paper where it's night and day when it comes to positional value of David Bailey at the position as opposed to Reuben Bain at the position, then I don't know if that's your number one need. We said in the offseason right away the number one need was go get some running back help.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they went and got the number one guy.
Right.
So again, like, is that gap that big between Bailey and Ruben Bay? And I'll ask Nate Taylor that a little bit later. And Bink, you can text me if you want. Because if it is, because Binkley's out on David Bailey. Or Ruben Bay. He's out. Yeah. Doesn't want him, would be pissed off they took him more than when they took Josh Simmons.
Right.
Seriously. And so, like, that gives me a little bit of concern. But also, like, I don't truly know, just because we've talked to Field Yates, we've talked to Price Carter, we've talked to Jay Binkley, we've talked to all these guys. And it sounds like there's going to be a player of that position of either wide receiver or edge at 9 and 29.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Bink likes Lemon. I know that Schrager likes the kid from Arizona State. And I know that Carnell Tate is out there flirting with that sort of area of 7 to 10. So for me, I don't make the trade because I don't know if you can get someone who's really not as far away from David Bailey, wasting all that draft capital, moving up just 5-6 slots to getting maybe somebody who is worth that value and not that far away at 29, and you get that centerpiece that Mahomes can build himself around. Because I am team offense. I think we say the Royals lineup goes when Bobby goes.
Mm-hmm.
This team goes when Mahomes goes.
Right.
And I mean goes, like, is out there and it's like, oh crap, he's back. Like, yeah, he can now dictate the game. If he's protected and he has targets, he becomes your best defense. Because then you're not off the field.
Then you're not off the field.
And now that defense can't get off the field.
Right.
Because if they can't get off the field and your offense stays on the field, Patrick Mahomes is just that type of player.
And this conversation is why we need the draft to happen.
Yeah,
because
man.
We have talked ourselves into and out of so many different scenarios with this thing, right? And every scenario that we have discussed sounds really good. Like, there's not many that you look at and go, nah, that's terrible. Like, even as we talked about yesterday with the offensive line and the offensive tackle, and I reported yesterday from sources with the organization, there's nothing wrong with Josh Simmons. There's no concern with Josh Simmons at all. They're just looking to draft a year ahead, potentially, at the offensive line, because Jalen Moore is a free agent after this season. So even with that reasoning, if they were to take an offensive lineman, you could talk yourself into that and understand, yeah, they're putting together the best offensive line they possibly can, so Patrick Mahomes has protection for the rest of his career here in Kansas City. You could talk yourself into almost every position for this team. You could talk yourself into almost every player that we've talked about so far in the draft for this team. And that just goes to show you we need the draft. It's time, because we have talked ourselves again in and out of so many different damn scenarios. But that's also why it makes it very interesting and intriguing and fun to discuss, because there are so many different avenues that the Chiefs can go down in this draft.
Yeah, there are a lot of scenarios. One, I think that maybe national sources aren't considering enough when you do these mocks, because it's so easy, right? Reese goes at 2, Bailey goes at 3,
right?
Styles goes at 6 to the Browns, Downs goes at 5 to the Giants. All of these teams are either tanking for a young quarterback next year, they want Arch or they want Dante Moore, like the Cardinals and the Jets,
right?
Or they have a young quarterback they recently drafted that they want to give tools around as well. I think there's going to be more offensive linemen, more receivers, and I think Jeremiah Love are all going to go in the top 10 more than we're considering. I think you're going to see a Carnell Tate go higher than you expect. I think teams like the Cardinals and the Giants could go on the offensive line. I think guys like Bailey and Bain, Downs, Delane, all these defensive guys might get kind of pushed down the board a little bit more than we're considering. I think the mindset these teams is going to have is going to be, I got to give Jackson Dart or Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck even, everything I can to see if he's the guy moving forward, especially if there's a new coach, which most of these teams have. I think a trade up would be not necessary for David Bailey.
Okay.
Somebody says, don't draft Bain. Another one says, Bailey is Will Anderson, Miami guys are Carl Loftus. And I think the analogy that I have with the NFL draft is we're ready for the next album.
Yeah.
Because we've listened to all the songs over and over again, and now we're starting to question what the narrative of the song is, even though the artist has told you what it's about. It's about an ex. You're So Vain, Carly Simon. It's about Mick Jagger. You know, I think it might be about James Taylor. You know what? Actually, I think it might be. Just give me the next album. I'm overthinking the process. Don't forget, our draft coverage this year is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield here on 96.5 The Fan from Kansas City, from here or for wherever you are, that's the benefit of Blue. So coming up next, we'll get to our guy, Ben Maller, here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carlos Esteves, and you're listening to Fescoe Dusty right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Whether you're digging a pond, clearing brush, grading land, or doing demo, Foley Equipment, your local Caterpillar dealer, is your one-stop shop. Buy or rent, Foley Equipment has the machines you need to get the job done. And right now, Foley Equipment has 0% financing with approved credit on new cat skid steers, mini excavators, and compact track loaders. Stop in today to any Foley Equipment location or visit us at FoleyEQ.com. That's FoleyEQ.com.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
By now, you've heard that Booth Creek Wagyu steaks and beef are the best tasting, most flavorful cuts you've ever had. And if you don't believe us, try it for free. Try Booth Creek Wagyu anytime at 95th and Knoll or 135th and Metcalf. Stop by our store and we'll prepare a free, mouth-watering sample of your selected choice cut. Heart-healthy, low-cholesterol, authentic American, full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef. We know you'll love it as much as we do. Crafted for exceptional beginnings. Join the Booth Creek Wagyu revolution at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the highlight of my morning. Hey, what's up? It's Island.
And I'm Josh.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit is that it's our go-to morning comfort.
You've got that nice golden fluffy egg.
With a soft, flaky biscuit.
Crispy bacon.
Melty cheese.
You want something quick, you want something convenient, but most of all, you want something good.
There's no better way to start your morning.
There we go.
Start off the morning with a Chick-fil-A Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit with Simply Orange Juice. Order on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Oh, baby, Royals baseball is back, and there's only one way to celebrate. That's with a Surfside iced tea and vodka or a Surfside lemonade and vodka. Smooth, refreshing, made for game day. Surfside is the perfect match for a day at the ballpark or catching the game at home. Surfside is 100 calories with 0 bubbles, and you know it, 0 trouble, so it goes down easy. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside, proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
East side 70 westbound slow from Manchester Traffic Way past 31st Street with construction. Kansas side 635 northbound very heavy, just crawling from K5 up to the bridge, getting into a construction zone where you're down to one lane. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
It is time to talk to our guy, Ben Maller of Fox Sports Radio. Of course, you can catch him overnight right here on 96.5 The Fan. And Ben, we are 1 week away from the greatest sporting event of all time, the NFL Draft. At least that's what our draft insider, Jay Binkley, tells us. But as we're gearing up for the draft, there's so many stories, so many things out there. What's the one story you're like, I'm just done with this, give me the draft?
Well, I'm already tired of Fernando Mendoza. I feel like he's played for the Raiders for 5 years already, and he hasn't even been drafted by the Raiders. I've seen so many stories about Fernando Mendoza and this, that, and the other thing. I've already had my own kerfluffle with Indiana fans and Raider fans because I don't think Mendoza's all that good and all that. So, that part of it, I'm kind of over with. And also, I've been hearing so much about Jeremiah Love. I always am skeptical when I hear the hype train come through town. Choo choo. I'm always like, I don't know about that. That's a name that I've heard a lot about. I'm like, I don't know about that. So those are a couple of the names that stand out. And I feel like the top two picks are kind of set already, with the Jets taking the kid from Ohio State, Reese. So supposedly all these mock drafts, who knows what they're, unless there's a trade, those two picks are kind of there, and then. Do you get worked up for the Arizona Cardinals pick at number 3? I don't. Maybe you do. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I definitely don't get worked up for anything the Arizona Cardinals do. They're kind of that irrelevant organization. But you have the GM of the Ravens yesterday say he thinks there's about 14 or 15 legit first-round talents, and then the talent falls off, which happens every year. There's only a handful of actual first-round talents. But that being said, do you think that's going to have an impact on trades and everything we're going to see, or do you think it's going to be a wild first round?
Well, I'm always more interested in the veteran players. Another storyline, guys, that we've heard a lot about is A.J. Brown for months and months, that he's not happy in Philadelphia. They're going to trade him, and this is always the weekend to do it, right? This is the draft weekend coming up next weekend. You trade these players, and so that's interesting. These guys complain about it. Has there ever been a year where these executives don't complain about the draft? Has it ever happened? I don't recall. It's some years there's better players and there's quarterbacks that people like, and that's great and all. But typically, talking about this every year, it's the same stuff. It's like, well, I wish the college coaches did better at developing these guys, and this isn't good, and we don't have enough defensive players, we don't have enough wide receivers. There's always something that strikes them that's not right with the draft. So, if I hear one more executive, Bob and Dusty, say, we're going to take the best player available, I am going to bang my head against the wall till it bleeds.
So, speaking of the best player available, what would be your biggest strengths and flaws in the NFL draft if you were getting drafted?
To me, the most, all these guys are fast and they're built like Adonis and they can run and jump. I want guys that have passion. I want guys that have the old cliche, a high motor, that love football. I feel like a lot of these guys, they happen to be good at football, but they don't love football. You know what I mean? I want guys, and in any bit, we work in radio. I want people that love doing radio to do radio. And there's people that do this because they're on TV and stuff like that. They're not really into it. I want people that have a passion. If I'm an NFL executive, I want guys that are junkyard dogs. I would take a guy who's deemed less talented, who I know loves football, over a guy that's more talented who's just kind of doing it because they can make a lot of money at it.
Gotcha. So, speaking of a lot of talent and passion, what's your take with Diana Rossini seeing out her letter of resignation?
Well, I love the story. I was getting killed from some people like, why are you talking about it? It's not, you shouldn't talk about it. And all that. I was fascinated by the story. I started out Dusty, before I got into talk radio, I was a reporter. I was in locker rooms. I saw some things I can't unsee back in the day, and I know it still goes on today, and it's just part of life, birds and the bees and all that. So I'm annoyed that it wasn't talked about. I thought it was a huge story. Like, this is a top NFL insider with an active NFL head coach, and like, forget the moral stuff's one thing, but just the you have this relationship. She's like a vendor she doesn't work for the NFL, but it's like for Mike Vrabel, rather, it's like working with a vendor and you're canoodling with the vendor. Like, you can't do that. He did it. Obviously, something went on enough for her to lose her job. But I'm fascinated what happens now to her, where she's going to end up. She'll get a job. She had a lot of friends. I mean, I saw her at the Super Bowl. Was it, I think, a few months ago, back in, where was it? In San Francisco? I saw her bounce. Everyone loves her. She's apparently a wonderful person. I mean, people love her. She's a great person. So she'll get a job somewhere. But as far as the story, it's just great. I mean, not for them, but to talk about it, it's fascinating.
It is for me, too, I think, Ben, because, nobody wants to talk about it. It's like all the other insiders have dummied up with this whole thing because, Adam Schefter's been linked to giving gifts to people before. And so it's not something that is, quote unquote, uncommon. It just happens to be a little bit further than what some of these insiders, have done. I'm interested to find out what becomes of Mike Vrabel, like that first press conference that he has, after all of this is over, how that's all going to be handled. And if the Patriots are going to put down an edict of no questions about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini.
Yeah, so the move, if you talk to PR people, the move is for Vrabel to do one interview hand-picked with somebody that will underhand softball questions to him, right? That everything's planned out. You do the interview, and then when he meets with the Patriots reporters at the draft next week, you just say, well, I've already answered all the questions in the interview. I don't have anything else to say. That's it. I'm out of here. See you later. To me, he's fine. If he was Gerard Mayo, he would be fired over this. I truly believe they would if he was bad at his job, he would be out. But they were just in the Super Bowl. He was the coach of the year in the NFL. So Vrabel, he'll be fine. He'll hang out, and we'll move on. He'll answer a couple questions, and everything will be hunky dory, and that'll be that. Unless there's something we don't know about. If there's more that comes out, there's other women that are involved in this, then that obviously changes the playing field. But at this point, based on what we know, he'll do an interview, he'll answer a few questions with a buddy of his, and then that'll be that.
So speaking of something that we know, it's interesting because my friends and I don't know if we're kind of low-key baseball junkies, but it's kind of impressive what Mike Trout's doing. It's even more impressive that he gets to do it in front of the New York audience and the New York media. But it's weird that players that you've seen do this before, I don't know if he's one of these guys, but maybe Joe Burrow will eventually be the Mike Trout of this conversation. I'm just waiting for it to stop. You know what I mean? I want him to win the MVP. I think that's a good story for baseball. But I feel like I'm just setting myself up for failure. Am I the only one in this sort of situation?
So you're openly cheering for Mike Trout, but you know that it's not going to work out. Is that?
Yeah, he's going to get hurt, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he was not playing very well before this week, too. He had a good couple of days to start the year, and then he was batting 220 or something like that. And then all of a sudden he goes to Yankee Stadium and hits all these homers. The thing that fascinates me about Mike Trout is the Angels are in the shadow of LA. They play in Anaheim, and it's like everyone forgot Mike Trout was playing in the major leagues, and he goes and hits all these home runs against the Yankees. And now all of the baseball media is like, oh, Mike Trout, we should get Mike Trout on a good team, put him on the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Dodgers or somebody like that. And I'm like, how irrelevant are the Angels? They had Shohei Ohtani, who was great and was a star, but not nearly as popular as he is right now. But would I bet on Mike Trout to continue this? Absolutely not. And the idea, some people are pushing that Mike Trout should demand a trade. That's not who he is. He's perfectly happy living in Laguna Beach and enjoying life, and no one bothers him, and that's it. He's the last guy that's going to demand to leave Anaheim and go to a good team, unless he could play, I guess, for the Phillies, because that's where it's his local team in southern Jersey. So that's about the only one.
But it's interesting. I mean, when you think about the whole Mike Trout thing right now, right? We're talking about one of the great players. It shows you how, invisible, I guess you could say the Angels truly are. Even though they are in that LA market, they're truly an invisible franchise. But it also shows you, and people get mad at this, the New York stage matters, man. Like, it is the biggest stage in the world. And he went out there. If he hit these home runs in Boston or Philadelphia, nobody would be talking about him. He hits them at Yankee Stadium, and now the Stephen A. Smiths of the world and everybody else like that start to talk about Mike Trout and like, why is this guy playing where nobody can see him? The New York stage matters, and he dominated it.
Yeah, he's had a great week. I mean, obviously all these home runs. He had 3 home runs or 4 home runs this week, so it's been the week of Mike Trout announcing, I'm back. Here I am. I've arrived yet again. I left for a couple years, but I've returned. And yeah, you are obviously correct. If he does this against the Minnesota Twins, it's, not even to mention, it's got to kill Stephen A. Smith to talk about baseball. He hates talking about baseball. It must drive him nuts. He must have 7 producers planning that segment to talk about baseball. Like, give me every detail possible about this. And so it was great. And Judge, also mano a mano, Judge hitting the home runs too. And it's been a fun week. I've been watching those games. I've been checking them out. I don't know how I've been able to watch them, but I've been watching them.
Watching them on the box is what you've been doing. And then Rory brings it home at the beginning of the week. Dusty's such a big golf fan, but I always say the Masters isn't golf. It's a sporting event. It's something that Americans watch. It's something we're all passionate about and we love. And Rory wins like he did on 18 at the Masters. That was a great tournament, man. And really, I thought a good show for golf over the weekend.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was, I was waiting for the choke. I don't know if you were too watching. I was like, I always watch the fun around, and it's like watching a NASCAR race where you're like, okay, which lap will the crash happen? And I'm like, which hole is this guy going to choke? And what a juxtaposition from where Rory McIlroy was. We were doing this 10 years ago. I was like, well, this guy's he's a choke artist, and like, back to back, belly to belly for McIlroy. It's great for him. And I got into an argument. I want to see what Dusty thinks about this, because I was talking to him. So I don't talk too much golf on the show, but my point, I think it's rather obvious. I don't think there's really any debate. There are 4 majors. The Masters, though, is the most important major. Like, for the casual American sports fan, it's not, obviously not the Open, which is the British Open or the US. It's the Masters. Do you agree or disagree, Dusty? For the casual consumer that's not really a huge golf fan, just kind of watches a little bit.
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially with everything that's around it. I mean, you have people that can con their wives into having a Masters party all weekend because they'll theme. I mean, for God's sakes, Ben, they sell the Masters food kit, right? You can decorate your house, get bougie, and it's all because you're disguising because the diehards want to watch the golf, and the other people are like, this is kind of fun. The traditions. It's so the best way I think I can describe it to people is that it's so simplistic, but it's easy, right? Like it's yellow flags, green greens, quiet golf. I don't know. It's one of those things that it's really easy to understand the richness of it, I guess. So I think, it's definitely the most important. And
I had one of my listeners called up from, he was at the airport in Atlanta on Sunday night, and he was there Sunday and Monday, and he said the amount of people that were checking bags in filled with Master merchandise, Master, was insane. Like they were paying for extra bags just to take the stuff they were buying, obviously, back to the.
Well, you know about Masters stuff, right? You know, you can only get it there. Like, you can't buy it anywhere else. Like, anything else is a knockoff. It's not real, and so. It's someone from our station that's gone there and been the guy, right? The mule is what we call them, the Masters mules. He had, I think he said he put everything up on the counter and it was like $1,200. It's like, the guy's like, do you want us to ship this for you? It's like, they'll do that too. Like, I don't know who doesn't do that, whatever the cost may be. You've already dropped a G. You might as well get it shipped.
Yeah. If you got that kind of money, if you're able to get in behind the velvet ropes, you might as well go for it.
Well, yeah, if you got the money to get in and you've paid for that experience, what's another $40 in shipping your stuff home instead of lugging it,
Take my money. Yes, take my money right now. Come on,
just
please.
Take it and go. Well, Ben, we appreciate the time today. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your last weekend before the draft, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
That is Ben Maller of Fox Sports Radio.
One word.
First name is blank, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No.
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3.
Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin.
Yeah, no Mac with you today. He's probably face down on a beach on South Beach in Miami, bachelor party.
I got some words for him later.
Yeah, we do. Yep.
Yeah, no clue what he's up to. So got a couple for you here on one word today. First of all, a lot of negatives for the Royals game last night, but there was one positive. Guys. Jack Caglione. All right, 3 hits, 3 opposite field hits. He was hitting rockets. He almost threw a guy out at the plate, too, if it wasn't for an incredible slide.
Yep.
One of those went for a triple. I mean, so one word about the development of Jack Caglione.
Progress. That was a good baseball night last night for Jack Caglione. It really a good baseball night. I like the opposite field hitting. The defense obviously was great. That may be his best game that he's played in his career. He was really good last night. So progress. That's what you want to see. Continue to make it.
My one word would be eyes. I know Cags' power is there. We all know it. You remember watching the home run last year that went over the batter's eye that about sent Jake Eisenberg into space? So the power's there. What we didn't know could get there is the discipline and the vision at the plate. He's hitting the ball in the opposite field gap. He's getting triples. He's getting doubles. He's walking. Hitting 275 for the average boomers out there that love batting average still. 275. He's showing you that he wants to play every day. He's showing you that he wants to move up in the lineup and, F it, hitting fourth. I'll die on that hill.
I think my one would be incoming. It's an old adage that a player that's about to break out of a slump is hitting the ball the other way. And that, I wouldn't say he was in a slump prior to yesterday, but he hasn't quite yet figured it out at the big league level.
He roped that triple in the gap. He hit it hard and still made it to third.
I think the extra base power is right around the corner with Jack Caglione.
And let's hope it continues.
Not only that, I mean, he threw that ball from right field at 98.4 miles per hour, and it was a hell of a slide by Baez. Otherwise, I mean...
We're still playing.
Can he go to the bullpen?
Well, he was a pitcher.
He threw it 98 miles per hour from right field.
I'm
Put him out
we
there.
don't get more texts like that, Dusty.
Yeah.
I am surprised, too. Yeah, absolutely. He should be the guy that comes in mop-up duty when you're up or down 10 runs. Put in Cags.
The Royals put in Lane Thomas in right. And in comes Caglione to relief. All right. Talk about a wait.
Yeah. One negative that we haven't mentioned yet, because he got off the hook. Tyler Tolbert came in to pinch run with 2 outs in the 9th inning last night, and he immediately got picked off.
He
by
was
Kenley
picked
Jansen.
off, yeah.
And he got very lucky that Torkelson
over the top
missed the tag there. He should have been out. But another base running blunder. He should have been picked off again. One word about Tyler Tolbert and this team's base running.
But same. It's the same as last year. I mean, we saw bad base running last year on this team, and we're seeing bad base running again this year. And that makes you question, are they addressing this stuff? I know in baseball it's really strange. You can't work on anything new until spring training comes around. But we just left spring training. You would hope after last season, base running would have been a bigger emphasis this spring training. I wasn't there. I don't know if it was, and the guys just aren't listening, or if it just, they're losing games, so they're playing outside themselves right now. But we're seeing a lot of the same that we saw last year in every aspect of this team, including the base running.
Yeah, I mean, discipline. Like, if we're not going to hit Cags against lefties that are dominant, then you prove that you can be on the base path. Because he's there for one reason. Speed and a right-handed bat, I guess. I don't know. I saw that last night, and it was bad. I was like, "Are you effing kidding me?" But he's like, "Dude,
how do you get picked off on first base at the end of the game like that?
Every time, it's deja vu."
Oh, I mean, my gosh,
Hosmer, by the way, Hosmer has been wonderful in the games he's done. I've really loved listening to Eric Hosmer. Talked about the balk move of Kenley Jansen.
Yeah.
Big league pitcher.
That's annoying.
You see that in high school even. Like, pitchers have a balk move where you move the front leg first, just ever so slightly first to get a guy leaning. But if pitchers know, hey, give this guy any balk move and he's jumping, that's not a stolen base threat you can throw in the 8th or 9th inning.
We need to see Drewski do an impersonation of Kenley Jansen on the mound. He's done pretty good at those lately. Have him be Kenley Jansen. Yeah, he's made his good run. He's made his niche, that's for sure.
Someone who had a great time the other night was LaMelo Ball. He had himself a great time after the 9-10 matchup. Big time stuff over there in Charlotte. But the NBA levied fines against him, $35,000 for his trip on Bam Adebayo, $25,000 for cursing in an interview after the game. So one word on the fine the NBA issued to LaMelo Ball.
Small. Should have been a lot more. Should have probably got a game suspension for what he did out there on the floor. I mean, you tried to injure somebody on purpose. And if you're going to fine somebody that kind of money, isn't that worthy of a suspension as well? Because the league is saying, we believe you're guilty of doing something. This wasn't, something that just happened in the moment. We're fining you $35,000. We do believe you're guilty of something. He should be suspended for the game. That poor gentleman lost the game and the season, and now his team is done. If he plays, Miami probably wins that game. So I would suspend LaMelo Ball at least for one game because he deserves to have at least a one-game suspension.
My one word is cinema, and the NBA loves it. We're talking about a 9-10 matchup. It was a great game. It was fantastic. But you've got Nick Wright calling him a clown. You got his dad defending him, calling Nick Wright,
of course,
a jabroni or a Rudy Poo, I think was the word that the Mr. Ball had called him. And then you get, all these wars on social media.
Oh, yeah.
You get the Ball brothers. I mean, Lonzo Ball came out of nowhere, started tweeting. And now you have all this. And you know what the NBA says? You know what's going to draw people to ratings? Letting that kid play.
Letting that kid play. That's a great point.
That was Max, and I'm taking Max take yesterday. I was like, do you think he'll suspend me? He's like, should he be? Yes. Will he be? No. Because the NBA knows we have a story here that's developing before the big teams start playing, and we play the Ballmer clip. Developers. It's just give them a huge suspension. Talk about it. Have first things first debate about it. Talk about it. 96.5 The Fan, Kansas City, no basketball team or affiliate. Talking about it.
Yeah.
Cinema.
See, now you're living in my world where you focus on the off-the-court stuff first, and what matters most is getting the casuals involved.
Wait till I come back from New York. I'll have gray hair talking about all these people at Jay that are nice. I'll be Bob.
Exactly. But that's the way it is. It's not about what should happen. It's always about what will happen because of the almighty dollar. I mean, you're right. We're talking about a 9-10 matchup nobody cares about because of this guy. And then he punches the mascot, right?
We even had
the NBA loves this stuff.
We even had physics debates. You think this guy can knock a 6'10" guy off his feet by doing it?
Yeah.
That's where we're at, man. It's cinema. It's great.
Walt Weiss or this guy,
Walt Weiss.
Yeah, absolutely.
He took down Horace
He took that Solaire like a heat-seeking missile.
Dusty, you got right to it. The NBA wanted 96.5 The Fan talking about their 9-10 matchup. That's what it was.
But
everyone knows that.
Yeah, no, it is. It honestly is. They have the Mac Morris of the world. They don't need him. It doesn't matter what he thinks.
Yeah.
It matters what Bob Fescoe thinks or Nathan Williams or Dusty Likens. Somebody who's not that diehard fan that's not going to watch just because a game is on. What's going to get us? They need us to come to the TV. What's going to get us to come to the TV? Controversy.
One more quick one for you here.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Monday's one word following the trip. It's going to be a great segment. What one thing in one word are you looking forward to the most in New York this weekend?
Dusty. I'm looking forward to Dusty experiencing New York for the first time. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I think mine would just be culture. I'm excited to see it because I was just talking to the boss. He's here.
And he's got big boy pants on today.
Yeah, dude, he's going somewhere special. He was like, you could run shoulder to shoulder with a A+ celebrity and never know it in New York.
Well, it's true. I had one of those experiences. I was going into a job interview when I was in college at WFAN, the radio station there. And I walked through the door and I knocked this woman down to the ground. We collided coming in and out of doors. I was like, oh, sorry, I stepped over and continued on. I had a friend of mine with me at that time, and he goes, do you know who that was? I'm like, no. He goes, you just knocked Sarah Jessica Parker down. Oh, well.
See if you can stop that, Dusty.
That's how Sex in the City starts, because somebody knocks her down the intro to the Sex in the City.
There it is, right? Yeah.
There we go. Coming up next, we'll do Smash or Pass. You want to be caller number 5? We'll play the sounder. You got to call number 5. You say, Nathan, you're awesome. 2, what the hell do you do with your free time after the show? And 3, you'll have a $50 gift card to Booth Creek Wagyu, now KC's Best Steaks, now with 2 locations, 95th and All and 135th and Metcalf. We do Smash or Pass next here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe.
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
And Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, my friends over at the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 are trying to make life easier for everybody. And if you have an HVAC company or you're an HVAC contractor, here's what the Sheet Metal Workers want to do for you with absolutely no cost to becoming a partner contractor. They're going to provide you a flexible workforce for your project demands, timelines, and those economic conditions. And the Sheet Metal Workers will help you adjust the size, the skills, and deployment of your workforce to maximize effectiveness during the times when you need it the most. And that way you're able to go out there and bid on every single job, and they'll provide the best trained manpower specifically for the HVAC industry, along with training for your current employees. And there's no downside to this, guys. It is completely free, zero obligation, just straightforward information on how they can help grow your business and your profit margins. Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. We're an old union with a new perspective on business. You can learn more at sheetmetal2.org. That's sheetmetal2.org. It's the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause 30 told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Getting engaged? So friends, listen up. Shane Company engagement rings are protected with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We stand behind the same quality we've offered since 1929. Our rings are crafted to last. It's why our warranty is the only one that protects your center stone. We also cover repairs, resizings, cleanings, and so much more. That's money you keep for you and your family. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
96.5 The Fan's draft coverage is brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, the Leavenworth PD, and the Salvation Army Civic Breakfast. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Kansas side, 635 southbound heavy from Gibbs to 35. 635 northbound pretty heavy from K5 to the state line with construction. K10 eastbound very heavy before K7 stays sluggish out to Woodland. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
We just did one word. Don't forget. It is brought. Oh, man.
You all right over there? Man, you're gonna die before you get to New York today. I hope Dusty's okay.
Getting choked up thinking about the old stuff. Wow. It is brought to you by
about Maloney's.
I am getting mad that he's going to get mad at me for not reading it. The Landing is what one word is brought to you by. Don't forget, Thursdays are $8 cheeseburgers and fries. Happy hours 3 to 7 p.m., and they have live music on the outdoor patio today from 7 until 10. I can't think of a better day.
You slip Rob at 20, they'll end happy hour at 6.
Ooh, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You better believe it. But yeah, that is one word. You know, you can go to the Landing, you can go to Maloney's, you can go to the Sand Trap, check out all your favorite teams, check out all the action today. Royals play a noon game today.
There
so
you
can
go
go out there and get some lunch, be home in time like Rory.
Yeah.
Instead of flying to the Masters, you can take your private Uber to the Landing.
Home in time to pick the kids up at school after day baseball. I like that.
You better believe it. It is Smash or Pass, the sounder that we will use for this because I think it's great. We used it earlier this week. If I can find it, we are struggling. When you hear this,
Give me back my son.
when you hear that, you want to call number 5, and you want to talk to Nathan. He'll get you set up with a $50 gift card to Booth Creek Wagyu, Casey's Best Steaks, now with 2 locations, 95th and Nolan, 135th and Metcalf. We'll start Smash or Pass off. We'll do a little athlete thing here. Smash or Pass. Cags and Carter hitting 3 and 4 in this lineup.
Yeah, I'm smashing that. I'm smashing anything from a lineup standpoint right now with the boys in blue, right? If you want to try something different, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are no wrong answers in this situation. I don't think anything right now is off the table when it comes to trying to figure out ways to maneuver the lineup because it's not working right now. Obviously, Salvi and Vinny are the big reasons why this lineup isn't working right now. Your stars are not being stars. They have got to be stars. And until Salvi and Vinny are stars, they should be replaced in the lineup by people who are performing better at this point in time. So, hell yeah, I'd smash Carter and Cags at 3 and 4. Yeah.
I don't care what the lineup change is. I'm being a little sarcastic here, but hit Bobby 8th, hit Michael 5th, hit Cags lead. I don't care what it is. I'm smashing it. Move your hottest hitters up, play the matchups, whatever you have to do in order to get this offense to break out of their slump. If that's Jensen 3rd and Cags 4th, I'm all for it.
You know, and a lot of times they'll say, you change the lineup, but it only really matters for the first inning. Yes, I understand that from an argument standpoint, but also the guys in the top of your lineup tend to get more at-bats in a game than the guys at the bottom of your lineup. And so that's why you take the guys that are hitting well right now and you move them up, and the guys that aren't, you move them back. You create more at-bats for the guys that are having success, and you reduce the at-bats for the guys who aren't having the success.
Smash or Pass, letting Cags pitch the 7th inning.
Smash.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, let him pitch the 7th inning. That'd be fun.
Yeah, smash. Why not? He can give up a ground ball to Michael Garcia that goes to the fence, right? Like what happened on Tuesday night.
Right.
Cags can do that. Yeah. Smash.
Smash.
Smash or Pass, the bagel as your sandwich bread option for a breakfast sandwich.
As long as it's a Jersey bagel, I'm fine with it. Bagels outside of that area, I'm passing.
I love a good bagel. You give me lox, especially on top of a bagels or any sandwich. I'm good with, but especially a lox. Yeah, I'm all over that. I'm smashing.
I'm smashing anything.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said you'd smash anything. This is the guys from New Heights. You talk about brothers being brothers. This minute and 12-second audio clip is totally brothers.
What was your favorite thing you ate?
Favorite thing I ate?
I know you're a big egg salad guy.
Yeah, because who doesn't love mayonnaise mixed with eggs, thrown on some white bread? I actually used to love egg salad. Mom used to make it. I don't know what it was. Once I found out that she was just like,
yeah, I
walked in the kitchen at the wrong time.
Please don't do the sound effect.
But Mom, you made the best egg salad sandwich. I would say I'm going to be bougie and stay. There's a fried chicken in the Berkman's place that is to die for.
Pimento cheese and egg salad combination was my favorite.
Combo?
Dude, it's called the Pomego. I found that out this week.
That is...
It's a lot. I don't think texture-wise you would
I am so out on this.
Oh, my God. It's pretty darn good. There's also another combo people are saying, the pimento and the barbecue. To me, that was too many flavors happening. It was overkill. Pimento
I can see
and the
maybe
chicken,
barbecue.
classic chicken, grilled chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
That was good, but the pimento is my favorite combo. The ice cream peach sandwich. You didn't get one of them?
I'm glad you tried all this because I didn't. Yeah,
I was here longer.
I was trying to watch some golf.
So the Pamago sandwich? You talk about just a mush of no thank you.
No, thank you. Can you imagine the texture of that? Egg salad, pimento cheese, and white bread. I don't know that you could bite into anything more soft and mushy and squishy and nasty than a Pamago sandwich. I am 1,000% out. Now, I do sound like a hypocrite because the fried chicken, not the grilled chicken, but the fried chicken sandwich with some pimento cheese may be okay.
They did that at Chick-fil-A.
I know. Did it not go over well? Or
I never had it because I don't F around with pimento.
I don't either. But I just heard them talk. I'm like, I could see how that could be a good combo. Pimento cheese on barbecue? I don't know about that, man. That does not sound like having that on top of burnt ends or ribs or something like that. I'm out on that.
I'm like 98% out. I like pimento. I like egg salad. I would need like toasted bread. I'd need some greens on there.
You need some sort of texture.
I need something to be a crunch and a texture because right now it just seems like that noise that Travis made is what taste I'm getting.
Right.
Unfortunately, I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. The disgusting noise that he made. Yeah. I think I'm passing on this.
Yeah, I'm definitely passing on that.
I was going in my brain about it because I'm like, what is like something that maybe you guys do that's a collab of two things that actually works out? Because like when I was a kid, like the one that blew my mind was like Frito scoops and cottage cheese.
I'll piggyback closely off that. Give me a Dorito or a hot Cheeto and some sour cream.
Okay.
Growing up,
that's
that
really
was one
all
of my
that
fat
like
kids.
French onion dip.
Yeah, exactly. But no like powder dip mix in it. You're going straight with the sour cream.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that kind of makes sense. Doritos have kind of a Mexican flair to them a little bit. A lot of sour cream used in Tex-Mex foods, and so I can see that happening. Yeah,
this is not too crazy. It's just that's where my mind went when you said Fritos and cottage cheese.
Yeah,
which
so
I've never had that combo.
I'm trying to think of a combo that I would have that maybe isn't normal, but I'm very odd with my food, so I don't think there's really anything. I think like the number one combo is the ketchup mustard on a hot dog, obviously.
Yeah, because I saw one the other day. This guy it was a Blackstone recipe, and he got one of the like all beef, like Big Franks.
Yeah.
And he made Philly cheesesteak meat, and he put it over the hot dog. So it was like a Philly cheese.
That sounds good. Yeah.
It's a lot going on.
It's kind of unnecessary, but delicious.
But see, what I would do is I would open that bun, I'd put the Philly cheesesteak down, then the hot dog on top of that.
See, I would split the hot dog, open it up on the bun, then put the Philly cheese. We're basically
in the
doing
middle.
the same thing.
Yeah. I don't mind the split hot dog either. That's a good way to do it.
Bob, do people in New York care about what you put on a hot dog? Are they like
Well,
anti-ketchup?
I
or
do
things
remember
like
one of the first Yankee games I went to as a kid. The vendor came around with the hot dogs, and I asked for ketchup, and the whole section yelled at me. I was a child, about 8 years old. I said, I'll have ketchup. We don't do that here. I said, okay.
That sounds good. Thanks, former President Obama.
Yeah.
Cling would have been tried in the city square if they knew what he put on his hot dog.
If he puts mayonnaise on that hot dog at Yankee Stadium, he's getting mugged too.
So I was going to say, Kling probably is smashing the Pamago.
Probably. I would think so, yeah.
Somebody says strawberry yogurt and pretzels. Okay. That's not my cup of tea, but I could see why that might be good.
Yeah, strawberry yogurt and pretzels does make a lot of sense, yeah.
Somebody says pizza rolls dipped in sour cream, dipped in Worcestershire sauce.
You know what's really good? Pretzels and like Diet Coke.
Oh, that's
like pretzels out of the bag and Diet Coke. That's a good combination. Now I haven't had that in years.
Is that in your silver van and your Kim Crawford?
No, it's not. But that like usually like back in the day on an airplane, I'll get a Diet Coke and a bag of pretzels. That was always a good combination for me.
I brought snacks for the plane.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Gummy clusters and Lifesaver gummies. I'm a kid, dude.
Give me back my son!
Hopefully Bob doesn't have to say that in New York this weekend. Be caller number 5. Talk to Nathan. He'll tell you. You got to tell Nathan that he's awesome. Thank him for being here today, tomorrow, and Monday with us here on 96.5 The Fan. And that is Smash or Pass, brought to you by Booth Creek Wagyu, Casey's Best Steaks, now with 2 locations at 95th and Knoll and 135th and Metcalf. Coming up next, offensive tackle. It's happening again here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Jack Caglione, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Weekday mornings starting at 6 right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, this rain has been great for our front yard, our backyard, our lawn in general, because it just looks awesome because of my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. They have done an unbelievable job at turning our lawn into the most spectacular thing that you will see on our block. Everybody says it. All the guys on the block are like, man, your lawn's looking really good. What'd you do? I said, I had the college-educated professionals from Aspen Lawn and Pest Control out, and they handled everything. I couldn't figure it out. I was done trying. I let the professionals handle it, and they have taken our yard from a mess to look like a masterpiece. Every time I drive past the yard going home, I smile, and I'm like, man, that yard looks awesome. There are no dandelions, there's no weeds, there's no crabgrass. It is just a beautiful, gorgeous front yard, and we're going to get to enjoy it a lot outside this year because we have the mosquito dome put over our house from Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, and they do a great job with that. It keeps the mosquitoes, the bugs, the ticks, the fleas, all of that out of our yard all spring and summer long. In fact, we just had it mulch the entire yard as well. They do everything at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Right now, they'll give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application by just mentioning this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Hello, Kansas City. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America NA, member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy 1 Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase, 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
With 2 kids and 4 sports, sometimes we don't even have time to eat, and that means sometimes we can't get to the store. That's when Hy-Vee saves the day. We love ordering our groceries online and having them delivered. It saves us so much time, and it's easy. Just download the app or go to Hy-Vee.com. Choose your store, select your items, and Hy-Vee does all the shopping. All I have to do is pick up my order or have it delivered to my home, which is free, by the way, with my Perks Plus membership. Save time, save money. What could be better? Only at Hy-Vee.
Royals coverage is brought to you by the Brooksider Sports Bar and Grill. Game day starts here.
Patio season is back, Kansas City. Soak up the sun with a cold one at the Brooksider. Then stick around for every game on every screen. It's the perfect play all season long. Brooksider Sports Bar and Grill. Game day starts here.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by New Century Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just 20 minutes south of Kansas City, where you'll always pay less in Paola. Kansas side, 635 southbound, heavy from Gibbs to I-35 and continuing on 35 southbound, stays heavy down past Antioch. New Century Ram, Jeep, and Dodge of Paola keeps it simple, honest deals without big city overhead. Shop new and used cars, trucks, Rams, and Jeeps. And for 2026, the powerful V8 Hemi is back at Ram Trucks. Just 20 minutes south of the city, could save you thousands. Online at New Century Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
The Fans Draft Party is Thursday, April 23rd, live from the Brooksider Sports Bar and Grill starting at 6 o'clock. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Right back at it, 8 o'clock, moving right along here on a Thursday with you, Nathan Williams, Bob Fescoe, Dusty Likens, all here today. Nathan and Logan tomorrow. And then Bob and I'll be back with Nathan on Monday, as Bob and I are off to the city that never sleeps.
That's what they call it.
Okay. I mean, I won't have a problem sleeping in that city. I can tell you that.
No,
much.
I have no problem sleeping anywhere.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, like today, what we're gonna do, and kind of go through a plan in my head. I haven't really shared much of it because there's something about going in with a plan and then everything gets, kind of discombobulated, right?
Well, I've always told you I'm a spontaneous guy.
Yeah, so
Okay
I want to take you to a bar that I've always wanted to go to for my entire life. I've passed this bar in New York City since the time I was a kid, and there's always been like this big life-size pig out front of the bar, right? And I'm like, God, I've always wanted to go in. It's got a pig, right? Who doesn't want to go in a bar about a pig? And so I came across it or stumbled across it again recently, and I found out it's Anthony Bourdain's favorite bar of all time. And so I'm like, okay, so Dusty's a huge Anthony Bourdain fan. I've always wanted to go to this bar because it's got a pig out front, and it's got like $6 beers. And in Hell's Kitchen, New York City, Times Square, $6 beers, I don't even get them in Kansas City at places anymore like that. So I'm like, okay, we can go there. I want to take them to Katz's. And then I'm thinking tonight, and I'm going to get a little romantic on this because I think this is what you need to do. I think I need to take them up in the Empire State Building at night and have them get a good view of the city, or we could do the World Trade Center at night. But I kind of like the Empire State Building at night for Dusty to take him up. So I'm thinking maybe that's something that we do. And so that's why I'm thinking the city that never sleeps, the last kind of trip up to the Empire State Building's right before midnight. So, we can do all the stuff we want and then kind of finish the night up top of the Empire State Building and just taking a good grande vista, if you will, of the entire area.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying Cats for sure.
Yeah, we can go there tonight if you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Wherever, man. I'll just follow your lead. So
those are the best trips. Are the ones that are spontaneous.
Yeah, like sometimes you got to plan if there's certain things that you want. Like nowadays, like when you do vacations, it ain't like back in the day. Everything's online. Everything's got a ticket. Everything's got a pass. Everything is timed entry and all this guys. You just can't show up to a lot of things and expect to get in. So you have to plan.
Yes,
more
but
so.
not to a T. And I think what you're doing right now tonight we should go here. We should go there. That's kind of what I'm feeling for Dusty today.
But then you get to a group of people, especially my family. I don't care. Somebody needs to make a decision. That's where I get the frustrated part is like where nobody wants to make a decision. Then you suggest something, and then everybody goes, I don't really want to do that. What did you suggest? It's like the batting order, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want Salvi and Vinny batting 3 and 4 anymore, or 4 and 3 respectively. And then Vern will say to you, well, what's your solution? And you have a solution, and then you do it, and you go. There's nothing worse than the I don't want to people that don't have a solution or something instead that they would like to do.
Yeah, I just don't need to go to the Jets team store.
No,
good on that. But if you aren't going to New York, like Bob and I are going to today, you can, again, as aforementioned, you can go to the Landing today. $8 cheeseburgers and fries, happy hour 3 to 7, live music on the outdoor patio from 7 to 10. Can't think of a better day. Watch the Royals smash a burger for $8 and then hang out long enough to check out that live music on the patio because you guys are going to have a beautiful day here in Kansas City. It's not going to rain for once. Right. I can't promise you the rest of the weekend. It's not on my agenda, so I don't care. But today is going to be great. So go hit up the Landing. Go hit up Rob Maloney. Tell him that you love him. And give him a peck on the cheek.
Some breaking news from the NFL. It looks like the NFL and YouTube are in advanced talks for a 5-game package this season. The extra inventory that fell off of ESPN, that second Monday night game that they would run and stuff like that. So it looks like YouTube now, they're in advanced discussions with the NFL to get a 5-game package from the league. And so unless, it's the Chiefs and the game is carried on local television, and you want to watch these games, you're probably now going to have to sign up for some sort of YouTube TV subscription as well.
Don't like that pick.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of the NFL and the NFL draft, it's coming up a week from today. We'll be at the Brooksider, hanging out with all of you guys and ladies and your kids that come out and celebrate with us. It's always a fun night to meet and greet people out there. I do love it. Hopefully there's not going to be a rain delay. There's not.
No.
The Royals don't play that night, so Binkley is in the clear. But this comes from Mike Garafolo. There's a lot of buzz lately for Georgia offensive tackle Monroe Feeling as a riser into the top 15. To that end, the Browns, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, and the Rams, those are picks 6, 9, 11, and 13, are among the teams who have spent extended time with him through the draft process via visits, workouts, and other meetings. So again, it's offensive tackle talk at 9 for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, it is. And as we reported yesterday, there are no issues with Josh Simmons. So, if anybody's thinking this is because there may be an issue with Josh Simmons, that is not the case. We reported it yesterday. There are no issues with Josh Simmons. If they go offensive line in this draft, it is strictly to have their guy ready for next year when Jalen Moore will be removed as a free agent off of this team. I say removed. He'll be a free agent, and they're not going to be bringing him back. And so they're not doing this. They're not considering this right now because there's some issue with Josh Simmons. And I think that is important to get out there for everybody to know. There are no concerns. There are no issues. There's nothing with Josh Simmons. That's not why they're talking offensive line. They're strictly talking it for the other side because, as they know, you're going to need a guy next year to play that spot. And that is always something, since Andy Reid has taken over, that they have done. They have drafted a year ahead of what they need to be doing. And so I was thinking about it yesterday because that Monroe Ficus' name came up a couple of times yesterday. And, yeah, nobody has, right? And I was thinking about it. This is going to be one of those picks. Let's just say they take Monroe Ficus at number 9, right? They draft this offensive tackle at number 9. In the moment, we are going to hate that pick, right? We're going to, that pick sucks. I wanted a wide receiver. I wanted a defensive end. In a year from now or 2 years from now, we'll all be looking back at that pick and going, man, thank God we got Monroe Ficus there in that number 9 overall pick 2 years ago. Look at how great our offensive line is. It's the case of in the moment versus big picture. And that is so hard to separate in these drafts, right? You want to have that star power name, that cool, we got this guy at number 9. You can talk about him. Nobody likes to talk about offensive linemen, right? It's a boring position. But you know when you have a good one and you know when you have a bad one. And if you have an opportunity at number 9 to get a guy that you believe can be a 10-year starter along with Josh Simmons and Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey along that offensive line, and now you have solidified your offensive line for the next 5 to 7, 8 years, roughly the next decade, then I think you have to go ahead and do that. Because like I said, we'll hate the pick on Thursday night, but in 2 years, we'll be like, how much do we love Mitchell Schwartz and talk about a right tackle here in Kansas City, right? He goes out there and plays well. We will absolutely love that pick in the future. In the moment, no. In the future, yeah, I think we will.
But how great could that also be for this conversation where 2 of the most expensive positions to go out and get in free agency are wide receiver, defensive edge. And then you go back and think, man, remember when everybody was crapping on Ruben Bain and his short arms, and now he's an all-pro defensive end?
There is that too, yeah.
Glad we got that guy at 9. We don't have to pay him for 4 years. Or say Carnell Tate falls to you, or, Malik Lemon or Malachi Lemon or whatever his name is. Never heard of him. Maybe he becomes a superstar wide receiver. You're like, man, so glad we got that guy at 9 or whatever it may be. So, again, I just get so confused as to, where people start getting stories from in the draft. Now, obviously, we got the Garofalo tweet about, extended visits. So it means, to me, at least in that sort of remark, it means they've seen more than what they already knew, and they're more intrigued in something that could, and maybe that is the case. If this is an offensive tackle, it's hard for me to get the wraparound concept of, man, for so long, we talked about receiver and edge as 2 massive needs. And then you're like, but now we're talking about a need that could be 2027.
Right.
Because in the 2027 draft, you're going to have all your, what we think is going to be all your main positional skill players. And if you aren't building your team up to be this Super Bowl run team this year, then you're still going to pick maybe next year in the late teens, 18 to 22, maybe. I don't know. you make the playoffs, but you don't have the dominant teams that
you're
maybe
picking,
you've seen.
23, somewhere in that realm. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, all right, offensive line's good. We don't have to worry about it in this draft. Cool. We can go look for skill set players.
Right.
But again, I'm still going to stay on the island that I've been on since the day the season ended. Defensive edge, wide receiver.
Yeah, and that, you know, at the end of the day, Dusty, that is, in my opinion, usually the best way to go through all of this, right? You had your mind made up. You knew what you wanted to do. And now this is the silly season, as Ben Maller always calls it, right? This is where the rumors happen, the innuendos, all of that kind of stuff gets determined this time of year. And you're right. You always have to go back and check yourself and be like, is this the right thing? Were we thinking about this a month ago? Were we considering this a month ago? Now, the other flip side is, and this is why unbelievable again, the other flip side is, well, we uncovered new information. Maybe we learned more about this player, or maybe something happened and we didn't really like this player now than we thought we did. And so you have these meetings and things do play themselves out. But yeah, sometimes we overthink, and I think that's what we're doing right now with this draft. But again, with the offensive lineman, if they take an offensive lineman at number 9, you will hate it today. But in 2 years, I'm sure we're going to absolutely love that pick.
We'll come back. We'll talk to our guy, Nate Taylor of ESPN here on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carter Jensen, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, weekday mornings starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, guys, we all have those moments where we have to say no. Hey, you want to play golf today? No, I can't. My knees are bothering me. Hey, you want to play pickleball? No, I can't. My elbow's bothering me. Hey, Grandpa. Hey, Dad, you want to come out and play with me? Well, I'd like to, but I can't because my knees are bothering me. Well, if you find yourself in that spot of your life where you're saying no to things you love and want to do with your friends and family, then you need to see my friends over at QC Kinetics, because I want to help you turn the corner, and so does QC Kinetics. They specialize in regenerative treatments that get you back in the game without surgery or those endless recovery months. Now, be honest with yourself. Are you using meds to get through a shift at work? Well, if you're nodding your head yes, then you're exactly who QC Kinetics helps every single day. And the best part about it is it's all done right in the office with no downtime. You get your treatment and you go right on with your day. It is that easy. There's nothing more meaningful than reclaiming your mobility. So get that free consultation at QC Kinetics now. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299. It's QC Kinetics.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. BetMGM, authorized gaming partner of the NBA, has a special offer for the playoffs. Sign into your existing BetMGM account and snag a NBA playoff odds boost token. Then take your shot at scoring more on your next win. Simply log in, add qualifying bet on the NBA playoffs to your bet slip, and activate the token. If you win your wager with the token attached, you'll pull down extra winnings and unrestricted bonus dollars. Talk about a fast break. Make BetMGM, authorized gaming partner of the NBA, your home for playoffs action with bonuses like odds boost tokens and more. Claim your odds boost token for the NBA playoffs and get in the game today. Make betting the playoffs more exciting. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
It's deck days at Lowe's, and the savings are stacked. Right now, pros get 15% off all in-stock composite decking from top brands like Trex, TimberTech, and Decorators. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. The deck's stacked in your favor with brands pros trust. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game.
Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug!
Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down.
Hey!
Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You know that Chick-fil-A sells more than chicken, right?
Hello, my name is Jaleesa, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is how it's all of my favorite breakfast items in one good bite.
That fluffy egg, that melty cheese with that perfectly grilled sausage. It just gives you that warmth, that comfort food that you love. It is the best possible option for a classic breakfast.
Comfort is calling. Order a Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Hey, it's Tyler Reddick from 2311 Racing. Most slot games are a solo lap. Slot Masters on Chumba Casino puts you on the grid with 2 other players. Battle it out over a 2-minute run. Everyone's spinning at once, points stacking up, and the leaderboard updating before the clock hits 0. Are you ready to race? With over 200 casino-style games and new ones dropping every week, there's always something new to line up for. Join the fun at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in the state where it's legal to play.
I hope you're sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you are a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive. Call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone at 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Kansas side 70 eastbound, heavy before College Parkway. Stay slow, not quite to 57th with an accident reporting. 635 northbound, slow from K5 to the bridge. North KC, 169 highway southbound. A little slow around Briarcliff, heavier past 9 highway. Alan Carr, 96 The Fan. Traffic.
He's the only man in history to win a race in a hot dog costume and break national NFL news. Here's Nate Taylor from ESPN with Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
That's right. You heard his voice. He is ESPN's own Nate Taylor, all things Chiefs. Nate, how are you, brother? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic, fellas. Thank goodness the weather's making a great turn.
Yeah, it is. Are you ready? Are you ready like us for this just to be here now? Like we're a week out. Do you have the mock draft talking about fatigue of this draft right now? Like it's time to make some picks.
Yeah, it really is. And I feel like I'm healthy and mindful enough to know that this is totally okay. This is completely normal for us to be in sort of the rabid state when it comes to the draft, as we are officially almost a week out. So no, I don't mind it at all. I enjoy the discourse, whatever I see, whether it's with people around town or it's obviously online, but no, man, like let's get crazy so that we can all be hopefully mentally prepared for, a pretty fascinating draft because it is so interesting, especially where the Chiefs are at 9, about the number of variations that could occur before they're, technically on the clock, or if the Chiefs decide that they need to make a move based on how, the first maybe 5 or 6 picks go.
Nate, what does your mind tell you when you see offensive tackle? Because Bob's kind of on this theory that, sometimes when you take picks in the 2026 draft, they're meant to be performers in the 2027 season. A lot of tackle talk. We've been blue in the face to know that Jalen Moore's contract's out after this year, and he's making a lot of money to play that position. But maybe where people win the draft and people lose the draft is how they plan ahead in the draft.
Yeah, that's very true. And I get the sense that, look, would I be in the draft room suggesting that the Chiefs take a tackle with their top pick, whether that's at 9 or even if they say you'll trade down to like 12 or 13, I wouldn't be that person. I think there's a lot of needs, and I agree with my colleague Matt Miller about, the number of areas that could be improved upon on the roster. Jalen Moore, I believe, has earned the right to, finally in his career get a chance to start, 15, 16, 17 games as a, NFL starting tackle. Obviously that with him being on the right side. I don't believe there's a tackle prospect that you feel comfortable enough to take this big of a swing, considering, and I know I'm not the only one that says this, considering that the Chiefs have never been this high in the draft with Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback. Now, there are circumstances as to why that has happened this year, but there's no guarantee that you're going to be back up here with a chance to make, a real sizable splash on your roster. So with all that said, again, I understand if you want to look at it from a 2027, 2028 perspective, but right now there are, I think, better options. And I want to ask this to the audience. If the Chiefs draft a tackle, that player has to be expected to be as good or better, given the improvements in science, in training, and coaching of Eric Fisher. I don't know if there's an Eric Fisher in this year's draft class.
Yeah, that's the thing, Nate, too. I mean, you start to look around, and if they do go offensive tackle, people will be pissed in the moment. If he becomes good, we'll be happy in a couple of years. And so that's the beauty, I think, of this draft for the Chiefs right now is that, yeah, they're picking 9. Yeah, there's a lot of holes in it. But by God, there are so many damn things that they could do at number 9 and 29 and trade and not trade. And, there's just everything's out there and available for them.
Right. And again, I know the Chiefs are talking about potentially moving up or down. That's usually part of their pre-draft process. The other thing I would say, too, is I would be more in the belief right now that they have better options of moving up from 29 than they do from 9. It's hard to move in the top 10 unless you're really giving up sizable capital to make that happen. And again, who are you going up for? That becomes just as much of a question as to why you would make the decision to find a trade partner and why that partner would be willing to sort of give you, an appropriate tax for coming up from saying 9 to 6 or 9 to 5. So I think there's a better chance for the Chiefs to go from 29 to say 23 or 25 or somewhere in that range. As it relates to, okay, well, what matters most? We don't really know, and that's, I think, what's super cool about this is that, you could present a theory out there, and I will give it the credence it deserves because number 9 is at a very pivotal point in the draft, given that, I don't know if there's a consistency, of top 10 prospects. In most years, I would say, I know who the top 10 prospects are, and it's just a matter of, positional value or team needs or, hey, is somebody willing to come up for a quarterback? There's not even a quarterback in the top 10 that you'd be willing to trade up for. And by the way, we don't even have premier positions like we have normally had, where there's not that many, cornerbacks to be available. Again, tackle is a position where you got to be within the eye of the beholder in a sense. I just love the fact that this has never been a more important draft for Brett Veach and his staff, and yet there are so many wild twists and turns that I could see happening next Thursday night.
So let's take the let's put the bias cap on, Nate. Who would Nate Taylor take if you were the GM of the Chiefs at pick 9?
Well, it's pretty simple. And the problem is it's not so simple because how in the world are you going to get him? To me, it would be Reuben Bain Jr. I know everyone equates this year's draft, and I understand it from a national perspective, even here locally. Everyone equates this draft to Patrick Mahomes, and I understand that. He's coming off the most significant injury of his career. He is starting, phase 3 of his career, you could argue, and you would like to support him with a receiver or with a tackle, right, to better protect him. Guys, Chris Jones is going to be 32, and I really think you should think about this draft as a way of supporting Chris Jones, as a way of supporting George Karlaftis, as a way of supporting Steve Spagnuolo. They definitely need pass rush. It's so funny that the draft is always in late April because that's just enough time for people to forget what they watched in November and December when the games mattered the most in the season. And what mattered the most in those games was they cannot get to the quarterback. They cannot hit the quarterback. They cannot affect the quarterback outside of Chris Jones. George Karlaftis had a down year. If you want to have a rebound in terms of your pass rush, I believe, based on where the Chiefs are right now, their best hope is Ruben Bain. Now, if you want to move up in front of the Saints, or if you want to, make a trade with the Commanders, totally fine if that's what you feel like is possible and is necessary to get Ruben Bain. But he has the best skill set, I think, to be a day one starter and to make a significant impact on the roster in a way that will support Patrick Mahomes, but not the way that most people anticipate when they talk about this year's draft.
And Nate, and we're talking with Nate Taylor, I think you bring up a great point there, because I continue to go back to the Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas and watching how bad our defensive line was against that Cowboys team. Like a day late and a dollar short, bro. I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. And that's why for me it's David Bailey. Would you trade up to get David Bailey?
Ooh, well, that's a different sort of trait and skill set and speed and maybe a bit of more dynamic ability that really jumps out at you that the Chiefs just haven't had, right? Like the last guy they really invested in who had similar pass rushing skill set was Frank Clark. Think about that. I mean, we're talking about the 2019 offseason that they acquired a player who they thought would have some juice in that particular category in terms of bend, getting around the edge, using speed as a fear factor when it comes to the quarterback and the internal clock he has. So, again, if you think David Bailey is the guy, and hey, there might be real conversations in the draft room or in the process right now in the Chiefs facility about like, hey, Bain or Bailey, Bailey or Bain. Hey, if you're having those conversations, that's great. But at the same time, if you're willing to make the trade for Ruben Bain, you definitely got to consider the option of, hey, maybe we trade up for Bailey, or does one player being taken, let's say one of those players is taken at 6, does that trigger you to say, okay, now we make the calls, now we give our best offer for the other guy? If it's Bain who's been taken at 6, okay, now we got to make the decision to how we're going to do this to come up to get Bailey, because we think these are the top 2 options to most improve our team, not only in the short term, but obviously in the long term. It's definitely something that I wouldn't, be against, but I just know that from a coaching staff standpoint and how much Veach and his personnel staff appreciate the insight of the coaches and what the coaches want for their particular system, I would have to anticipate that would be more in the Ruben Bain sort of world than the Bailey world. But again, if you can get a good pass rusher, go up and get a good pass rusher.
When you look at this team and you look at what's more important to build around, obviously I think the offensive tackle position is why there is some talk about that, especially the way the season ended last year and what you can do for Mahomes moving forward. What if I told you that Jeremiah Love is Christian McCaffrey 2.0? Because Marcus Freeman, obviously he's got some bias here, and he was on Kay Adams' show, and I'm sure you saw the clip on Twitter where he said he could play slot receiver. He could, obviously, he's like, he can play punter, safety. Like, if he's there at 9 and he is Christian McCaffrey, what do you do in that situation?
Man, now we're going real West Coast where you go to 2 running back sets, split backs. I mean, you could do some things now. I mean, I think, again, there are bigger areas of need. You use your biggest resource in terms of financial dollars and free agency to go get Kenneth Walker. Again, let's just remind the audience, who's playing cornerback position, right? Who's going to be your edge rusher opposite of George Karlaftis? Who's going to be the 3rd or 4th receiver in a good rotation that you want to have blossom in the second half of their rookie season, much like we saw in the rookie seasons of Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, in terms of, again, reinvesting in that position, not knowing what the future holds past this season for Patrick Mahomes and the crew, especially when you weave in Travis Kelce. Oh, by the way, Travis Kelce, year 14. Maybe you should think about tight end, if you want to have a nice transition, a nice little introduction. These are bigger questions than running back, but dog, it would be really hard to not say, hey guys, Jeremiah Love's there, and hey guys, what if we could allow Patrick Mahomes to hand the ball off like a normal amount of times, or we could just have 2 running back sets and say, hey, one of these guys is getting the screen pass and you don't know which one it is. I totally understand that. If I were the Chiefs and Jeremiah Love was there at 9, who wants this man? Call me immediately. Yeah. I'll take extra picks right now the guy is yours. All you got to do is make the effort to come up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you want to make trades, and we'd all love to trade down and get more picks, but as you've said numerous times in a roundabout way, there's nobody in this draft worth trading up for. So I don't know that you're going to get many picks. I mean, I'm serious, man. Like, even Mendoza, I'm like, I wouldn't trade up for him. I mean, I just wait a year if I was looking for a quarterback at this point, right? And so I think there's just, you don't have those franchise-changing dynamic players that people are climbing all over themselves to get up for, and there's probably only about 15 true first-round draft picks anyway, in this draft. So I think everybody's going to be trying to kind of trade back and make maneuvers in the top 10 or 15 of this draft, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely fair, because one of the things that I love asking Brett Veach, and usually he tells us this anyway, and we're going to talk to him later today, I believe, is, hey, how many first-round grades you got on the board?
Yeah,
some years it would be like 18, some years it would be like 14. I'm like, is this in the 14 category? Are we thinking 18, 19, 20? Like, true first-round grades. That's medical. That's personality. That's obviously production and tape, and obviously acuity in terms of like coachability, the ability to be a freak athlete who can continue to improve in the NFL, not just this is who they are and this is who they will be for the course of their rookie contract. So there's not that many true first round grades in most drafts anyway, but this feels like, man, you really got to okay, this is a 4-tool player, not necessarily a 5-tool player, but his 4 tools are exactly what we're looking for on our roster. That might be how it's best to describe this draft class. And again, the league shifts, it changes, it evolves. We're getting back to a place where, hey, running the football matters. Hey, you always need a good pass rusher. Oh, by the way, a linebacker and a safety are a top 10 prospect.
Yeah.
And guess what, guys? One of them dudes is not going top 10 because of positional value. Again, if they're available at 9 and you tell me Jeremiah Love's available and Caleb Downs is available, run and take Caleb Downs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just believe in my heart, fellas, that we will look back on this and be like, man, I know you're not supposed to take a safety in the top 10, but dog, Caleb Downs is so good.
Yep.
And you're going to say that probably 3 years from now. I feel pretty confident because he showed it both at Alabama and Ohio State, and he can do a variety of things. The only downside in his 4 tools out of 5 is he just doesn't have prototypical size, and that's okay. That happens. But did you watch the tape?
Yeah.
The dude's incredible. But I bet you Caleb Downs won't go top 10.
What's funny, too, is that the Chiefs took Eric Berry, I believe, 5th overall out of Tennessee.
Yep.
And that dude changed games. I mean, we all remember the Atlanta game. We remember him, taking the ball out of Cam Newton's hands. Cam Newton's a damn man, right? Like, Cam Newton ain't no slouch. And I don't know if Eric Berry was undersized as a safety back then in those days of the NFL. I don't think he was. But
I don't think he was, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at Caleb Downs, and you look at when this defense has been successful, Nate, and it's when Spags has had that guy. Tyrann Mathieu, Justin Reid. Last year, I'll wait.
Yeah, but that's the way to look at it. Not about like Eric Berry and all these guys being good. We saw how bad they were without a true safety out there last year.
Yeah, and a guy who could do a multitude of things. And I think that's why, as we get further away, why Justin Reid will always be sort of underappreciated, even though he'll be highly respected as to what he did in the dynasty, is the idea that, hey, he could come up and support the run. Hey, that tight end, he might catch the pass, but you know what he's not going to do? Get yards after the catch. Hey, if the ball's in the air and I can make Russell Wilson not know what the coverage is, guess what? I have a much better chance of either leading it to an incompletion or an interception, right? There are so many plays where Justin Reid's like, I'm blitzing. You know I'm blitzing. I'm getting to the quarterback. And, guys, that's a skill. And that is a fear factor when it comes to guys like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. We watched it in that memorable playoff run in 2023. Justin Reid had massive plays in those games. And, again, he can cover. He can support the run. He can blitz. He can be able to make the short-handed tackle in the open field to give your defense another chance to make another impactful play. And, again, can allow you to better disguise, make the quarterback second, third think, pre-snap, post-snap, what are my progressions, what are they doing on the other side of the field? Those are 5 things I just mentioned. I think Caleb Downs can do 3 to 4 to 5 this season, let alone getting better over the course, again, of his rookie contract, if that's the best option you have, right? If there's no David Bailey, if there's no Ruben Bain, if Jeremiah Love is really not in your intentions now, because again, you signed Kenneth Walker, reigning Super Bowl MVP. Hey, if you don't love any of the tackles, totally fine. Totally fine. Just take the best player available. And the best player available, I assure you, in this scenario, might be Caleb Downs. And I'm willing to say probably at this point.
What does Nate Taylor think of Kenyon Sadiq?
Sounds like you need to be molded, son. And it sounds like we have just the people to mold you. Can I introduce you to Andy Reid, someone who's always had the tight end be a high priority in his offense? And by the way, let me introduce you to this future Hall of Famer who knows the offense better than some of the position coaches. Yeah. That's how long he's been here. That's how good he is.
Some of those coaches lost their jobs, though, Nate.
Yeah. And hey, by the way, if we were ever going to maximize the talent, and this is why we pull our hair out about some players in our locker room that play the receiver position, we're giving you the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. So it's all about circumstance. It's all about situation. Where are you going? What is the viability long-term of the franchise? You honestly don't have to ask those questions when it still comes to the Chiefs, even though I know Andy Reid's the oldest coach in the league right now. The infrastructure's there. Oh, by the way, do you need to be molded? Do you need to be, more consistent? Guess who we have? Let me introduce you to Eric Bieniemy. So if you take all those factors into consideration, yeah, trade up from 29 to, again, 22 if he somehow is still there. But, again, more than possible because it's a thing where you have to project. That's why it's so hard to do this, guys, for a living. Project what that player is going to be 5 years from now, not just right now. What is the best possible scenario for him within our system, our structure, with our quarterback, and what are the worst case scenarios? What happens if it doesn't go a certain way? Or what just happens if it's just a plateau, if this is just who he is, and we're going to try to use that as best as we can within our offense, our structure, our culture. These are great questions to have, and I would be, again, a little bit more willing to take him because do you have a future at tight end outside of this year? The answer, kids, is no.
Yeah, you've just done a really good job of effing with me now, Nate, because every scenario sounds awesome. Every senorio sounds doable. Every scenario sounds legit. I mean, wouldn't it be better off if we were picking 15th?
Yeah, because you can go either way. You can come up. You can go down.
Yeah, well, you can take anybody and nobody's going to say, you took a safety in the top 10. What were you doing, you know?
Right. Yeah, right. And I will say, look, we have history on our side. Guys, Kyle Hamilton should have went top 10. Fact. I could just be the person in the draft room that says, hey, guys, just because these other teams didn't do it doesn't mean it's not a possible solution to our problems. And also, man, we got two opportunities to get two really good players right now in a way we haven't had the ability to do outside of the 2022 offseason. And look where we picked those guys.
Yep.
We picked those guys, 21 and 29? I mean, come on. We have a chance to do it at either 9 or higher, or, to my belief, have a chance to come up from 29 because we have additional picks not only this year but next year's draft as well.
Well, Nate, we appreciate it, man. Real quickly, if you can give me some advice. I'm going to New York this weekend with Bob. I'm going to go see the Yankees and Royals play Friday and Saturday. Give me one thing I got to do in New York before I leave.
Oh, my God. One thing you got to do in New York. Ooh, that is rough. By the way, you're going to love the Bronx. Talk to as many of those people as you can. They're fantastic. There's really a joy about Yankee fans that I think they get a kind of a bad rap here in the Midwest because they're the Yankees and it's fine. But Yankee fans are pretty awesome. The one thing I would do in New York, ooh, buddy. Okay, I'm trying to think outside of conventional wisdom or conventional thought because I still think this time of the year, man, Central Park is incredible for all the reasons. I think you got to get pizza. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You know, I'm a pizza guy. I'm ready for it.
I think you got to get. I think you got to. Trying to think. Is it John's? It's either John's or Joe's Pizzeria. It's in the village.
There's you just outside. Find a spot that says pizza. And it's all you know.
But I'm saying there's a specific one that me and Holly have a great love and affection for, and they've always been great to us. There's a line out the door. It's in the village or it's very close to the village, but I don't know, man. New York pizza just hits. If you get it right on the right day,
We're going down the shore tomorrow. I'm hoping the Boardwalk Pizza is open so he can have a slice of that. And I was watching the New York news yesterday on the box, and it's been 80-some degrees, and all the news stations were down on the shore saying how great the weather is, and some of the bars and places were open.
Man.
So I got excited for that. That's what I'm excited for.
The other thing, too, is I know people will say this, and I don't think they quite understand if they downgrade it or if they don't think it's worthy. Go to a Broadway show.
We are.
Get off your phone. It's awesome.
We are. My parents are taking us to see MJ the Musical on Saturday night.
Yes. Again, like, there's a reason why New York is New York, and these are some of the reasons, but, like, getting off your phone, seeing, like, real live, action and drama and a set production. Like, I remember we went and saw, like, the Harry Potter one.
Oh, that's good.
However many years ago. And it's just like, okay. It finally clicked. It's like, oh, I get it now. This is why y'all like this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's all happening right in front of me. So you guys are doing it right. Y'all don't need to worry. But, like, yeah, man, go shopping, blow it out, do your thing, and hopefully the Royals. Hopefully, hey guys, do you see the left field? Do you see the right field wall?
Mm-hmm.
It's short. You might want to swing over there. Just saying.
Text line says it's John. Text line says it's John's Pizzeria in West Village. Apparently, so
that's right. That's
John's
my guy.
on Bleecker. Is that the one?
Yes, that's the one. Yes.
All right, Nate. We appreciate it, man. Thanks for the advice. I'll let you know if I come back looking like the situation. We got a problem.
It'll be a start of a great summer, my friend.
That's right. Take care, Nate.
Yes, you too.
That is Nate Taylor in our draft coverage on 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, the Leavenworth PD, and the Salvation Army's Civic Lunch. We talk Mike Trout. We talk Charles Barkley. They have nothing in common, but they're both conversational pieces here on the other side of 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
I was talking to my buddy Ralph the other day, and he said, hey, my brother Jamie just called Jay Southland Tow and had his camper hauled down to the lake. I said, that's the way you do it. You let Jay Southland Tow Service handle everything for you. You got to get a boat to the lake, let them take care of it. You got to get your camper down to the lake, let Jay Southland Tow Service handle all of that for you. It is easy, and you know it'll be done right. It'll be done awesome, and they will take care of you every single step of the way. There's a lot of busyness going on right now in life, right? So let Jay Southland Tow Service handle something like that to take it off your plate. And that way, when you're ready to go to the lake, your camper, your boat, it's already there because Jay Southland Tow Service handled it and took it right to the lake for you. Also, when you run into car trouble, Jay Southland Tow Service is just a phone call away. So that's why I always say, put their number in your phone. So when you need them, they're just a phone call away and you're not panicking. You're not wondering what to do. You know to call Jay's. 816-779-4TOW is the telephone number. Stick that in your phone and forget about it. But when you get into an accident, your car doesn't start, you have a tire issue, call Jay's Southland Tow Service. You don't have to wait for the insurance company. You call Jay's. They are on their way. 816-779-4TOW or at southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments in Tammy from the Westin. It's Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Oh, baby, Royals baseball is back, and there's only one way to celebrate. That's with a Surfside iced tea and vodka or a Surfside lemonade and vodka. Smooth, refreshing, made for game day. Surfside is the perfect match for a day at the ballpark or catching the game at home. Surfside is 100 calories with 0 bubbles, and you know it, 0 troubles, so it goes down easy. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside, proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler at Chain Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, never with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship, because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
There's a simple reason to buy from New Century Ram, Jeep, and Dodge in Paola. They're honest guys who don't add big city overhead to the price. Shop the full lineup of new and used cars, trucks, Rams, and Jeeps at New Century Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.com. That's New Century Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.com. And for 2026, the powerful V8 Hemi is back in Ram trucks. Just 20 minutes south of the city, and you'll save thousands. New Century Ram, Jeep, and Dodge. You'll always pay less in Paola.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
96.5 The Fan's draft coverage is brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, the Leavenworth PD, and the Salvation Army Civic Breakfast. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Kansas Sign 70 eastbound, heavy from College Parkway over towards 57th with trouble blocking the left lane. Replacing your HVAC doesn't have to be an emergency. Plan now, pay less later. Plan ahead, you get more options, better scheduling, and less stress. Schedule today at anthonyphce.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Let's go to the text line. Listener named Colin says his birthday today. Says all he can ask for his birthday is a shout out in this drop.
It's not traffic. It's Del Giorno.
That is so old. That was Bob Del Giorno,
Yeah.
I think, back in the day.
It's not traffic. It's Del Giorno.
Taking it back a few years.
Yeah.
There you go, Colin. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Colin. How old are you, my friend? Let us know how old you are. We'll give you a birthday shout out for your age as well. You and I were just kind of talking in break about the new thing that's taking place now in the draft. And the New York Times, now The Athletic, has got an article about this, how reaching the NFL draft and getting drafted is a lifelong dream. But for a lot of guys, it means only one thing, a pay cut. And so, you're talking about why the draft isn't loaded right now and why probably going forward we're not going to see a lot of underclassmen. These guys are going to make more money staying another year in college. And then Dusty goes, yeah. And then it's easier in college. It's not a job in college. $3 million a year on a college campus or being drafted in the 5th round. You tell me, and you do the math, right? You're going to take that money. So I think, as we start to move forward with this NIL stuff, I think we're going to see a lot more dudes staying in college and a lot of less underclassmen coming out into the NFL, because if they get projected somewhere between the 3rd and 7th round, right, if you're not a top 2-round pick, or maybe you're just going to be an undrafted free agent, you do have the odds to make more in college. And so guys are going to stay, which is good for the NFL, another year of developing these guys in college. And now you can have an even better read on whether or not these players are going to be good coming out because they've got another year under their belt in college. And the NFL's capitalizing on NIL like it's nobody's business.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They're the biggest winners in all of this, guys. They really are, because you're probably keeping guys in college who maybe don't deserve to be in the NFL, but everybody jumps into that draft. You're going to get a much better read on talent coming into this league, and they're going to develop more playing in college sports. I think it's a win for the NFL more than anybody.
I'm thinking of the guy that you mentioned, the one that's going to be drafted in the 5th round and make $500,000 or whatever the NFL minimum is for the first 4 years of his career.
Right.
That guy's probably theoretically making closer to $1 million in college.
Shedeur Sanders is who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sure. It's another, Shedeur's, I'm talking about like the guard, the defensive tackle, the guy that's in the hundreds of thousands, not in the millions, is still probably going to make near what he would in the NFL, but it's like another year of guaranteed money. Like these guys, when they hit free agency, the guaranteed is all that matters.
Right.
They're looking at this saying, man, if I don't have a life-altering injury, I'm still going to the NFL and getting that 4-year rookie contract plus this money right here, right now. And then the league, they get to pay rookie contracts to that guy that's more developed than he used to be because he stayed in college longer. So it really is a win-win for the player and the league.
You know what else happens, too, when you go to the pros and you leave college? Now, all of a sudden, you got a mortgage payment or rent payment in school. They're paying for that. They're paying for your meals, right? You're getting money and food.
I live in this house. I have this HOA fee. What is HOA?
Right, yeah.
That's HOA, Scott.
Right. But I'm being serious about that. Think of the expense that your mortgage or your rent is every month. If you could eliminate that expense from your life, we'd all be living fat and happy, right? And so you're a kid in college making, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars a year playing for KU. Oh, we got your dorm taken care of. We've got your meals taken care of. We've got a lot of your clothing taken care of with all the gear that you're going to get. So to me, like, it just seems more and more and more imperative, I guess, and more likely that these dudes should stay in college for the extra year instead of jumping into the NFL. And the NFL is probably going, great, we'll take all the seniors and the 5th-year guys that are more mature, more developed, better football players, and we'll leave the underclassmen for college. It's really going to be, I think, a nice windfall for the NFL with all of this.
Not NFL, not MLB, but NBA. I don't know if you guys saw this little story that developed, not story, but a stat, basically. Thanks to the Paul George trade, the Oklahoma City Thunder now have a pick in this year's lottery, the best team in basketball, right? They currently have a 7.1% chance to move up into the top 4, so that's going to happen. So if you're a college basketball player and you think the Clippers are going to draft you, just listen to Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley really said the Clippers weren't contenders.
Well, let me tell you something, Manuel. I've been poor, I've been rich, I've been fat, I've been skinny, I've been old, I've been in the Hall of Fame, and one thing I can always tell you, the Clippers have always sucked.
What a treasure. Like, what an absolute.
Charles Barkley really said the Clippers weren't contenders.
Well, let me tell you something, Manuel. I've been poor, I've been rich, I've been fat, I've been skinny, I've been old, I've been in the Hall of Fame, and one thing I can always tell you, the Clippers have always sucked.
He is looking slim these days.
You think he's on that shot. He's got the commercial
I'm
for
just
it.
glad they finally got him tailored for his body.
Right. His suits are now fitting a little bit better.
Classic Barkleyism. That's great.
Now that is good, but he's not wrong. I said to Dusty too. He said something about the Clippers. I just go, oh, the Clippers. Like no matter what they do, who owns them, what arena they play in, how excited people get, what uniforms they change, illegally paying players at a tree farm, like it doesn't matter. They still have the same stank on them as they've had for my entire life. Every time you looked at the Clippers, they were just a joke, mired in nothing all the time. They suck. And they're still sucking. It is hard to be a disaster of a franchise for that long.
Speaking of franchise, Taco Bell says they're bringing back their triple-double crunch wrap for a limited time after years of fan requests.
Triple-double crunch wrap. What does that mean?
I think there's just another layer of crunch meat and cheese.
Perfect.
Quicker time to the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. Roll it out, Taco Bell.
Oh, man. It's getting late fast. That's all I'm going to say about the Royals. We'll talk about it next. 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, as we're getting ready to head out, we know where we're going to be parking at the airport, and that is Park and Go, because they are awesome. When we made our trip a couple of months ago, I immediately went to the Park and Go app and made my reservation at bookparkandgo.com. Or like I said, I use their app on the phone. It is simple and easy to do. I also prepay, because that's when I know I'm saving the most money. When you prepay, it's done, you save bucks, and you don't have to worry about that expense anymore. It's over with. And then you show up on the day of your flight, and you look at all that covered parking, and you go, man, which spot is mine? Well, they tell you right at the gate. Pull into that spot right over there. We have it reserved for you. You pull in under that covered parking cover, and you're ready to go to the airport. And they're ready as well, because that van meets you right away and takes you to the airport terminal. No waiting, no running around the lot hoping. That van meets you, and you're off to the airport terminal. And when you get back, it's great. Just grab your bags and walk outside. The van's waiting for you. Jump on it, and it's right back to the trunk of your car. So join their frequent parker program like I did and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and driving in this area means navigating everything from busy metro traffic to open Midwest roads, so having the right auto insurance really matters. With AAA, switching today means you could save up to 21% on your auto insurance. AAA offers trustworthy protection, personalized coverage options, and customer service that gives you real peace of mind. And when you bundle policies or insurance multiple vehicles, you can save even more. Visit AAA.com. That's AAA.com.
JR and Company, the only roofing company offering a free lifetime warranty on workmanship and a free shingle upgrade that can save thousands in future insurance premiums. Locally owned, veteran owned, and family owned. Call JR today or visit jrstormcheck.com.
Whoa. Okay, this one says you get a free phone if you switch. Hey, this one also says you get a free phone if you switch.
Yeah, they all do, hon.
Wait. The T-Mobile one says families saved over $3,700 versus the other big guys in the past 5 years. And their experience plans have Netflix included, plus a year of Dash Pass by DoorDash.
Hang on, let me see that. And a 5-year price guarantee? Oh yeah, we're switching.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we clap now, or?
I'm thinking high five.
At T-Mobile, get savings that keep stacking up.
That's value you can feel every day. Switch now at T-Mobile.
Savings based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 2021 to Q4 2025 among accounts with 3+ voice lines compared to AT&T and Verizon, excluding discounts, credits, and optional charges. See harrisx.com/T-Mobile. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
635 both directions, heavy approaching the state line, down to one lane with construction north and southbound. Kansas side heading 435 eastbound, very slow from 69 highway out to Antioch with a stalled reporting. Main lanes in service road affected. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Hey Kansas City, this is Cole Reagans. On your way home from the K, tune into Vern's postgame show right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, back at it on a Thursday morning here. 96.5 The Fan, Fescoe and Dusty with you. Dusty is walking in now. Nathan Williams is here in lieu of Mac, who is on a vacation. He is going to his bachelor party. We'll talk more about that as the show comes to a close today. But there's something that, go ahead.
I was going to say, we had a really good question.
Okay.
Who's a worse franchise, the Jets or the Clippers?
It's the Clippers, because at least the Jets do have a Super Bowl championship.
But but at this point, it's withered away.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. I mean, it was Super Bowl III for God's sakes. Well, no, the Jets have the longest drought of any professional team in America. They haven't won a playoff game since 2010, so they have the longest drought of any professional team. But the Clippers, the Jets, at least give us stuff, right? Like, they're a conversation piece all the time. They're a gift that keeps on giving with the dumb stuff that they do. The Clippers paid some guy at a tree farm. They're not that interesting. At least when the Jets lose, there's meltdowns, there's interest, there's, oh my God, catastrophic. The Clippers don't really register on the radar. And the Jets are in the NFL, which that league sets itself up, maybe not to win the Super Bowl, but to be a competitive team and get in the damn playoffs every year.
But we can't agree that in current times, the Clippers and the Jets are twins.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. I mean, both the second-class citizen in their town by far. Mm-hmm. I saw a story yesterday where they asked LA fans who are what team is number one, and they ranked all the teams
Dodgers.
in LA by far.
Yeah,
it wasn't
even close.
49% of the people said the Dodgers.
That's low.
Do you know what number two was on that list?
Let's see here. LA. Just L.A.,
Just
right?
L.A. Well, including Anaheim and
all of California.
Yeah, no,
okay,
just L.A. Yeah.
Number two, got to be the hockey team.
No, they were fourth. The Rams are number two. 7% of the people saying it was their favorite team. 49% said the Dodgers at one. 7% said the Rams at number two. The Lakers were number three. The Kings were number four in that. And the Chargers were down on the list. The Clippers were down on the list. And I think ultimately, other than the soccer teams, the Chargers were ranked as the least interesting team in the Los Angeles market. But what I'm getting at is, that's where the Clippers and the Jets are kind of, locked at the heels, because you got the Lakers and you got the Rams, you got the Giants, you got the Knicks, you got all that kind of stuff. The Jets, I mean, you choose to be a Jet fan, you're a masochist.
The Clippers, they seem more comparable to the Mets, in my opinion.
Sure, yeah.
Because they have the expectation, whereas in the last decade, the Jets, I mean, to your point, Bob, nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, just obscure nothing. The Clippers, it's like they have the expectation. The Mets have the expectation, but they're going to blow it. They're going to stink, no matter how much they spend. I've seen it with DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin in my life. I've seen it with Chris Paul and James Harden.
Goes back to Danny Manning, for God's sakes.
It was. Their owner has had problems. It is
planting trees.
It is not a good situation out there, but they get the 1% of fans in LA they have or whatever, they do get their hopes up and they convince themselves, like the Mets, hey, this is the time. This is the tenure. This is the group. It just never is.
It never is, yeah.
We know the Tiger Woods memes go on and on and on. You've seen the one where he's in the passenger seat, looks disheveled, blue polo on.
Right.
So from cigarette nostalgia, 9-year-old
Great
me,
follow, by the way.
The tweet says, 9-year-old me, after losing a baseball game 13-0, watching mom drive past McDonald's and Burger King, saying we have leftovers at home.
I know that look because we did that the other night. We were playing over here at Shawnee Mission North. We were going to go to Culver's, line out the door. It's 8 o'clock at night. Line out the door of Chick-fil-A. We're like, oh my God, where are we? You're going to go home. We got leftovers at home. I'm not waiting in these lines for an hour. Now the Chick-fil-A one you'd be through in 5 minutes, but
I feel like I was every parent's dream as a child because I loved leftovers.
I don't mind leftovers either.
I've always loved leftovers,
Yeah.
but
I mean, always. But I have friends that are like, ugh. Like some people hate spaghetti.
Even as adults, they don't like leftovers.
which is crazy. It's crazy. But we all can relate to being a child and your parents saying, "Now we got food at home," and then now as an adult, you're like, I'm so sorry. I understand now why you made that decision. But as a kid, it was the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
The worst thing in the world.
You didn't want food at home. You wanted to go out. You liked that restaurant food. It was unique. It was different. And back in our day, you didn't go out a lot. Like now, I mean, everybody's dining. You're having DoorDash delivered to the school, for God's sakes. But back in our day, dining out was a treat.
Let me ask you something, Nathan. What do you get more tired of hearing? Andy Reid saying we're close last year when you knew that we were nowhere near being close. It's close. Or it's just a slow start like always for the Kansas City Royals.
Man, it's got to be the Royals because that was the first year I've been through it with Andy Reid. Now, he has a whole bunch of
exactly what you said.
Regular sayings.
Yeah.
Not just like times yours. He gives this the same canned answers. But last year was the first year that it fell on deaf ears for me. The Royals, we hear these same narratives, even with these same players, like the ones that are struggling right now, every single season. I'm so sick and tired of it.
Yeah, and I told Dusty the exact same thing that you just said right there, and so I don't have anything to add. No, I'm kidding, but I did. I told him the exact same thing. I said, but the Royals, we've been hearing it for 30 years, right? It's been 30 years.
Year.
It's been different regimes, different ownership, from a committee to David Glass to John Sherman to, from Allard Baird to Kirk Robinson to JJ to Dayton. Like we hear the same type of stuff. It's a baseball narrative of, well, he's just a slow starter. But I'll be honest with you, I did the math last night, and the math isn't good. And the math isn't something I really like to talk about. But I thought to myself, I said, 83 and 79 is probably the line of demarcation to get into the playoffs, right? That's kind of your low water mark. 83 and 79 will probably get you in. Anything worse than that probably won't, right? The Royals have already lost 11 games this year. So when people say it's early, they are correct, However, they only have 68 more losses really on the schedule that they can have if they still want to make it into the postseason. And we're only 2 weeks into May. I mean, we're April. I mean, we're legitimately mid-April right now, and I'm already saying they only have 68 more losses to play with over the course of an entire baseball season. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. And so, yeah, it's early, but also it's starting to get late when you look at those wins and losses. Individual stats, you can say it's early. But as far as winning and playoff position and jockeying, you've already got 11 losses on the season, and you really only have about 68 more to go.
It is, I mean, to Bob's point with the comma, it is early, but there's also need for concern. Your catcher looks lost as a 36-year-old veteran in the game.
That's a shame.
And, sometimes, throughout life, you might be somebody that's really good at a certain task, and you might not have it for a moment, and you might need that whole, what's the Ben Affleck meme where he's outside the bar with his head in the air, eyes closed, having a cig? Maybe that's what Sal needs, and that is a way to give him a day off. Like today would be a perfect day.
What's the
day
the
game
Popeyes
after
lady,
a night game?
The Popeyes lady with leaning over on the bench having a cigarette.
Just had enough. And I'm look, Sal's a veteran, so I don't blame said hitting coach with Sal. You're 36 years old. You're a Hall of Famer. Figure it out. And if you need a day, man up and tell your skipper, hey, let me just take this one. But there's maybe not that opportunity. Maybe Sal is just so eager to play every day. And look, I get it, man. the days are coming to where he won't play baseball again.
Right. He's got about 2 years of that left.
At least with the Royals.
Right.
And at 36, you're taking it all in as much as you can. You're addicted to a craft that you've only done your whole life. From a child in Venezuela to a superstar in Kansas City, that's all he's known is baseball. And I could understand that with a guy with a C on his chest, just how intimidating that could also be from your head man to be like, hey, Sal, not today. And it's like, oh, you're sitting me down? And again, like that
who's going to tell him that? Like, who's the guy and I know you're going to say Q or JJ, right? And that's who it should be. But who is that guy that can? Is it Hosmer?
No, it's your mouthpiece of the team.
It'll be the guy that does every hard talk like this for the team.
It's your
Number
mouthpiece.
5.
Hey, Sal, we're going to take the day today. You and I, we're going to take the day today. Let's let the kids hit 3 and 4.
Oh, so you think Vinny should say that to
Absolutely.
Sal? Oh, that's interesting.
And write it with him.
You think it's George?
Yeah.
It could be George. I don't think he is involved that much within the locker room during the season. I think where his role is like spring, where it's like if Sal was having these troubles in the spring, he's like, damn it, man, like I can't figure this out. George, come here. That's where his role is.
But that's why I asked the question, because we're talking about the next player in Royals history that's going to the Hall of Fame. There's only one of those guys.
Greinke.
There's only one. Well, yes, but I'm talking about full-time, lifelong Royals. Right? Yes, Greinke will be wearing a Royals hat. I'm almost positive in Cooperstown. But Salvi is your next guy that played his whole career here, a lifer here in Kansas City. He outranks anybody in the organization. I hate to be that guy. He does. He outranks everybody in the organization. He is George Brett of this generation, right? So when you said George Brett, I'm like, you're not wrong. I think that's why I asked, who's going to have that conversation with Salvi? And for my money, you had George Brett. You have Vinny Pasquantino, which I love, the two of them together. But maybe this is part of the reason you have Eric Hosmer around too. And Haas is watching this as we all are.
Yeah.
Haas sees what's going on with Salvi. He knows what makes Salvi good. Maybe that's the guy. And I'm not saying it's Haas's job at all to do that. I would never task him with doing something like that. But that could be the one guy who said, hey, you're my guy. Why don't you take a day off? It's okay.
And I think you guys bring up valid points, but I'm done living in the past. I'm done hearing about 15. I'm done hearing about 14. I'm done hearing about George Brett and his legacy. They're not part of this team nor the direction this team should be going. I get that they're veterans, but like I want somebody who every single game is at the end of the game talking about what's going wrong or what's going right. And that's always been Vinny Pasquantino. And to wrap it all up to why I think this should happen, if Bob's theory, if Vinny sticks around for a long time and he takes the C from Salvador Perez, we can all agree who we think that could be. But if they do it, it doesn't just go out to anybody and everybody. It's not like it's just a handout to the next guy.
And you don't even need to do it if you don't have the right guy.
But if Vinny is that guy that you think he can be a captain of this team and be a mouthpiece of that locker room, it shows big nuts to go up to the captain currently, who's going to be enshrined in Cooperstown in the second greatest Royal of all time and have a statue of him, giving somebody the splash at the end of the games. Like, imagine going out for warm-ups and be like, hey, Sal, you and I aren't in the lineup today. I went to Q's office, talked to the manager, said we could both use a day. Let's see what these kids can do, and let's just support them as players. And that, to me...
I love that idea.
That, to me, opens up so much, because when we found out that the team was down or whatever, it wasn't Q going to the locker room and be like, hey, go deal with it. When Carter fell asleep or was sleeping past his alarm, it was the players that came out and said, yeah, Vinny, we're disappointed. Sal's world was a little bit rocked. He had to start today. Well, rock that world again, but with a different narrative, and lead by example and say, hey, this may happen to you in your career, Jack, Carter, these guys, and say, hey, we're big enough as well to know this is a team thing, not an individual game. We told the manager, we've decided to take the day off, and maybe that promotes volume. Or, hey, Sal, today you and I are hitting 7 and 8. We deserve this.
Yeah.
Until we don't, we're going to stay down there. We're going to let these other guys get some more shine up top. I don't know if that's the way it goes, but damn, start winning some ball games, because as Bob said, you got 68 left on the card to give up, and you can't do that.
You can't just do that. And I do. I think that's a great idea to have Vinny do something like that. I think that would be one of the cooler things that we could see, where Vinny said, yeah, Sal and I talked, and we both aren't playing great right now. We needed to take a day out of that lineup to allow, somebody else, because at this point right now, now you're pressing, and you can see it. Like Salvi's at-bats aren't great. Vinny clearly has looked lost multiple times in his at-bats over the last few days. There's nothing wrong with taking that day off. There's nothing wrong with taking a breather and saying, okay, I need this right now. I need to take a step aside. Dusty and I tried to do that and let Mack in charge tomorrow. He took the day off. He missed an opportunity.
Well, I'll just say this. I don't think it has to be one or the other. Either it's early, give him time, or freaking out, it's the end of the world. There's definitely a middle ground here.
Yeah.
Knowing that there are ebbs and flows in baseballs and not freaking out, but saying to yourself, why do we always have to start with a flow in April? Can we get an ebb one of these years? I think about June of last year at home. There was a stretch against the A's, the Rays, who were both not good teams, and then the Dodgers, who are a good team, where the Royals lost like 9 straight at Kauffman Stadium, or 8 out of 9. At the end of the year, you're thinking, man, if they just could have gone 4 and 5 in that stretch, or 3 and 6 in that stretch. That could be what's going on right now. You missed Tarek Skubal. Your pitchers are fantastic.
And you're missing Max Fried. He's pitching today for the Yankees.
That's true. I just saw that. I was worried about that.
That's crazy. And you got a leadoff guy on third, and you can't score him.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we're going to look back and be like, man, they used up all that equity in April again.
And sometimes that's what happens. Like they always say, you can't win the division in April, but you sure as hell can lose it in April. And if you dig yourself a big hole, you spend so much time just digging out of that hole just to get back to even. Like where the Royals are right now, you've got to win 4 straight games just to get back to even.
And you play Detroit, Yankees.
Right. Those are your next 4 games. That's going to be a tough thing to do. And then if you lose one, then you fall back. Now you got to win 5 straight. And so the more you lose, and this isn't rocket science, obviously, you're digging that hole. So you can't win the division in April, but these are the times of years, you're right, you look back on it and you go, man, we just did better. And as Vern pointed out last night when I was listening to his postgame show, we've already lost to everybody in the division. The Twins, the Guardians, the White Sox, and now the Tigers. So you were supposed to win this division, yet you're losing to everybody in this division right now.
While you're starting pitching.
Is
in baseball.
So good.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about how good that starting pitching is. Oh, my God. I mean, they just go out there and shut down the opponent like it's nobody's business. They make it look so easy.
We'll get into a wow moment, plus we'll rank some teams on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports. Big nuts.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I will tell you, my friends at Golden Oak Lending do an unbelievable job, and we know from firsthand experience. We've had over a decade-long relationship with the folks over at Golden Oak Lending, and that's what it is. It's a relationship. When you take that free mortgage checkup, you are in the system with Golden Oak Lending, and you become part of the family. And what does that mean? Well, they're constantly checking up on you, just like family members do. Every 6 months or so, you'll get a call from Golden Oak Lending. They say, hey, we're looking at your mortgage right now. Rates may be dropping. If you're interested, let's talk about refinancing. Or if you're not in the system yet and you haven't taken that free mortgage checkup with Golden Oak Lending, now is the time to do so. Golden Oak is lowering their rates, and the average cash-out customer saves $1,104 per month. Plus, when you refinance with Golden Oak Lending, you'll go 2 months without having to make a mortgage payment. So I want you to take that free mortgage checkup. It'll be the best phone call you ever make. It's risk-free. There's no paperwork or credit card required. It's just a simple phone call to find out how much money you can save every single month. 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD, and let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Hello, Kansas City. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Did your HVAC struggle through this rough winter? When it comes to your home comfort, trust the local experts at Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with our trade-in allowance program. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee, means you get safe, reliable service and peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
This afternoon,
Expect sunny skies with a high of 83.
Weather brought to you by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code WAGON for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WAGON for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's WAGON.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
I'm Mark Solinger, producer and one of the hosts of the Moth podcast. For nearly 2 decades, The Moth has brought live storytelling to stages around the world and to millions of listeners. These are real people telling true stories from their lives. Stories about a lost family recipe, about working to free a wrongfully convicted man, about realizing you need to leave your May-December romance. Stories that will move you, surprise you, make you laugh. Stories you can't forget. Join us. Follow and listen to The Moth wherever you get your podcasts.
Today, expect sunny skies with a high of 83.
Weather brought to you by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Breaking news for your home. Way Day. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home. Like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Way Day long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Way Day. Shop Wayfair's Way Day from April 25th through 27th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Back at it on a Thursday here. Fescoe and Dusty, 96.5 The Fan. Nathan Williams along with us as we continue to get you closer and closer to 10 a.m. when Cody and Gold take over for a 1-hour show. And they just informed us 10 a.m. Brett Veach's press conference will be carried live right here on 96.5 The Fan. So we are going to hear from Brett Veach coming up at 10 o'clock. So essentially, Cody and Gold have no job today. And that's why Dusty and I are praying for rain. So they have to stay on the air and hopefully wash that game out. But more importantly, make Alex and Cody actually do some damn work around here because they have got the dream schedule today.
Do you think the one segment between Brett Veach's press conference and Vern, we should just stick around for that and let them get out of here?
Not a chance. No, we got a flight to catch. We got to go.
What, a 25-minute show for them? God, I mean, Godspeed to those guys.
Yeah, I mean, but they're going to have to take notes and do all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Godspeed to them is right. So they hit the jackpot today, man. They got lucky on this one.
Yeah, they got an hour show, like he just mentioned.
Right.
And I told Alex, I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, you're the GM, and then we got to go to a commercial break, and then we got to react, and then Vern's ready.
Yeah, and then Vern's ready. So we're hoping for rain.
You know, I was thinking last night.
No, you're hoping for a banged game. If there's a delay, they're still clear.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Vern still hits the pregame at 11.
So you're hoping it's canceled then?
I don't know if I want that juju on them.
Yeah.
But
I do.
Yeah.
Guys, I was thinking because, always the first day subbing in for Mac is always an adjustment. You got to go to bed earlier. The alarm comes earlier.
Right.
What I love is a 5:40 first pitch and the game being over by 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. The last couple of nights have been fantastic.
2-1.
So this series has been great from that perspective, too.
Great. Absolutely been great. You're right about that. That 5:40 first pitch is a godsend for us.
Yeah, I love it. I could not get enough of a 540 first pitch. So you just heard us talking about Brett Veach, general manager of the Chiefs, will be talking today because we are a week away from the draft. I mean, literally a week away from being at the Brooksider with all of you, all the listeners, all your friends, all your family. Bring them all up. We'll say hi. I promise. And I think it's interesting because we're just going to listen to this and go down a different avenue. Because I don't know what you like. What do you think is they're going to ask about the top 30 visits? I guess would be something they would bring up.
The first question they'll ask is how many first round talents do you see? Okay, so we'll get that answer.
Yeah.
What positions are the strongest in this year's draft? We'll get that answer. We'll get some sort of comp to next year's draft, right? They'll ask about 27 because 26 is considered weak. I'm thinking of all the storylines that we've been talking about. Will you draft a running back or a safety in the top 10? Do you draft for position of need or a best player available?
Might ask about arm length and how much measurables go into this.
That's
considering
right.
He's got to
hate this press conference.
Absolutely has to hate it because it's the same one he did last year. You could rerun the press conference for all intents and purposes, and you're going to get the same answers. They're just picking 9 instead of 31 as they did last year, or 32 last year, I guess, or no, 31 last year. So you've got the opportunity to have the same questions, and they'll be the same answers. And you'll wonder, that's why we used to do it with Andy this year or last year. It'll be the same answers that Brett Veach will give that we heard last year.
Yeah. So we'll do this rank these teams sort of things because you said this came out earlier. You brought it up with the popular teams in LA.
Yeah, right.
Right. So I'm trying to think, like they went, I can't believe the Lakers were not 2. I'm still kind of
the Lakers are 2.
Oh,
I'm sorry, the Lakers are 2. I misspoke on there. Yeah, the Dodgers are 1. What the LA Times did is said rank your favorite teams in LA from your favorite to least favorite. Dodgers are number 1 at 42.9% of the vote. Lakers are number 2, 28% of the vote. The Rams are 3 at 7% of the vote, and the LA Kings, the hockey team, come in 4th at 4.5% of the vote. Then the Angels, the Clippers, the Chargers.
That's sad. We knew that, though, because every time you go to SoFi to play the Chargers, it's a Chiefs game. It's like a home game. That's why they played in Brazil.
Right, exactly.
It's
below
straight
the
up.
Clippers, though?
Yeah.
Below the Clippers?
That's
Below
sad.
the Clippers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's sad. And the Chargers have been pretty good.
Right, and the Chargers have been good. The only teams that rank below them are the 2 soccer teams, the 3 soccer teams. The WNBA team is last, and the Anaheim Ducks come in with 1.5%.
What about the Angels? Did you mention them already?
I did. They're right behind the Kings. They're the 5th most popular team in Los Angeles. The Angels, who had Shohei Ohtani and nobody knew it, are more popular than the LA Chargers, who were in the NFL. That's why that was a bad move for the Chargers. They should have stayed put in San Diego, but the business side, I get all of that. I hope you're making enough money where you're a non-factor. You're a non-factor on the LA sports scene. But if we were doing this in Kansas City, what would the results be if we ranked all of the professional teams in Kansas City? Obviously, the Chiefs would be number 1, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it would be a large margin. I think 80 to 90% of the people would say Chiefs.
Do collegiate teams count?
No.
Okay.
No, we're talking pro teams.
Mm-hmm. Chiefs, Royals.
You think so? Because I think maybe the current at number 2.
They're 3, and that to me is impressive enough.
I think the current is above Sporting.
Yeah, no question. No
I mean,
question.
I think
They're
the
above
current
Sporting.
Sporting got beat by like a lower
JV
league
team.
Yeah, my buddy's a big soccer guy, and he was like, he's like, it'd be like basically if like Manchester United played like a team below the Premier League and lost.
Yeah. It would be like the Royals playing a AAA team and losing.
Yeah.
You know, like an MLB team playing a AAA team and losing, kind of, sort of. Or maybe even a AA team.
No, the current are an amazing club. Like, they have done wonders with how small of a time period they've been here, right? They played on they practiced on a high school field that looked like your backyard. And now you look at their gorgeous stadium because of the success and the investors that they have. They're not 2. They're not. Like, no one was mad that Schwinga was out for the first couple games. They had dropped back-to-back games. No one was on our text line being like,
sure, that's a fair point.
So, like, and I know that maybe our demographic isn't the current fans completely. I mean, I think there are people out there that believe that, you know, that enjoy watching them. But, I mean, we were talking about, you know, opening day, like more people were expecting opening day against San Francisco and the Yankees on Netflix instead of being like, man, worried about this team without their main striker on the field for a couple games. I'm worried how they're going to get off to a hot start. That to me would raise volume. And they're not quite there yet, but them being the third most, I don't know, coveted team probably in the city, in my opinion, I think that's great.
Yeah, it's they said LA's favorite teams. So not the best, not, you know, but who are your favorite teams? And I'd like to see if somebody did a poll like that, just to see the results, just to see how far out the Chiefs are and really how close the Royals and the Current may be to each other in that. Because I think the vote would probably be closer, but I 100% agree there. Sporting Kansas City in this town is totally non-existent. They went from a club that people were passionate about, that I don't even know who the coach is anymore. Obviously, when you have Peter Vermees for 20 years, you know who the coach is. But, like, you're right. When they lost that game, I saw some stuff on X from some, people that are tweeting about, like, how down bad Sporting Kansas City really is at this point in time. They have fallen off a cliff in a big-time way. And who knows if they're going to be able to get it back.
It's bleak, and it's been bleak for a few years now, but it keeps, you think it's bottoming out.
What happened over there? Like,
next year.
They were the premier team in this league. They were doing things that no other teams were doing, from the design of the facility to the stadium. I remember back in the day, they started flying private, and the league shut it down because not every team could afford to fly private, and so they had to go back to commercial. I think everybody flies on the private jets now in Major League Soccer, but that's how far advanced Sporting Kansas City was. They were putting stuff in their locker room that, NFL teams were not having at that point in time. How have they fallen off so far? Like, seriously, like, people want to know, like, what happened? How does Sporting Kansas City go from being the premier team in the league to a non-existent team in the league?
Missed a big opportunity, too, with the timing of the World Cup. Imagine if you were successful in winning a lot of games, like how much draw that would get closer to the event. So
we would need to get Rob Britton in here. He knows way more about the sport than I do, but I can tell you that I've attended plenty of sporting games over the last 10, 15 years. Everything about the organization is stale, not just the team on the field, not just the coaches, the energy in the stadium, the in-game presentation. Everything about the organization just needs a facelift at this point in time.
Wow.
I don't know how it got there or why it got there, but I can attest, like, it's not great.
You know how they get there, and this kind of springboard just to the next, complacency. And then you look at Arrowhead, what happened last year, and you saw that complacency set in, right? There was a lot of complacency around Arrowhead Stadium last year. I mean, shoot, we heard it all the time with the energy level. Oh, and the energy level not being up. Well, what you're saying right now is you learn from history. And if you're the Chiefs, you're looking at Sporting Kansas City and you're saying, we cannot get complacent. We've got to act like we have not won anything and we've done nothing and we don't have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. We've got to go gung-ho and not be complacent, because you could just look across the street and see Sporting KC and say, wow, complacency really did set in that organization, where they just took what they had for granted, and then they woke up one morning and nobody even mentions them. Nobody knows who they are, and they have fallen off, not just nationally, but I think here in Kansas City as well. You don't hear a lot of people talk about Sporting KC anymore.
They definitely have. Bob, if you asked me the original question between the Chiefs and the Royals at 1 and 2, I think it is a big gap between the two, just from judging, because my answer would be the Royals would be my favorite team.
Yeah.
Judging from the text line, man, when the Chiefs are good, they hound you if you say a negative thing about the Chiefs. They can't wait to praise the Chiefs. When they're bad, sure, you get the negative text too. When they are good, it is just floods of pro-Chiefs text. When the Royals, I mean, until you're late in the fall, if they play a good game, you don't hear a lot from the text line. Boy, when they are bad, people cannot wait to jump on the Kansas City Royals. So I think, while the town does support them when they play well, I think people view them differently. With the Royals, they can't wait for the other shoe to drop. And with the Chiefs, they're just basking in the glory days. So I think the Chiefs would crush the Royals in that poll.
And I also think, too, that goes to show you where we are, though. I mean, like, the Royals, for the better part of their existence, you've waited for the other shoe to fall, right? There's been some great years in the 70s, a couple in the 80s, in 2014 and 15, and right? So you've been conditioned that way as a sports fan. A lot of folks that are Chiefs fans now didn't understand there was losing that happened before all of the winning started. It's been a very long time of winning, so fans aren't used to that. And how could you say something negative when our team is winning and doing all of these great things? Bite your tongue. With the Royals, people are waiting. Like with the Chiefs, we're waiting to be positive. And I think with the Royals, there are people that are just waiting for that shoe to drop so they can be negative and can be, I told you so. Because I do think there's a group of sports fans out there in every city, everywhere, that would rather be right than have their team win.
Speaking of teams to win, transfer portal news been out for a little bit now. Just want to make sure it was official. Bryson Tiller of Kansas is going to Mizzou. Dennis Gates, sir. Let's have a discussion. Mr. Gates, your time is now. Because I think you probably remember this. I was pretty stubborn on Eli Drinkwitz last year. All right, Eli. The recruits are coming in. The draft picks are happening. The wins are starting to stack up under your resume, but the important ones aren't. Can you get to the college football playoff? And I understand like Mizzou being in the top half of the SEC and playing in a pretty important bowl game is pretty nice. But with the recruitment and the way that you sell the team, you'd like to see maybe the next step.
Sure.
Dennis Gates, gentlemen, has himself a roster that he has never had before at the University of Missouri in Columbia. 5-star Jason Crow, 5-star Tony Bryant, Jameer Jones, transfer from Providence, Bryson Tiller from Kansas, and Jalen Carey from Tennessee. Debatable, but probably not the most talented roster that Mr. Gates has had. With that roster, you would think that's going to make Mizzou people that are fans of this basketball team, we want to see the second weekend of March Madness. Time to win, buddy. Because as we know, college basketball, when you're presented with what we think is the way to do it, especially now with NIL and portal, that man for next year is nailing it. 2 top 5s and 3 transfers to fill out your top 5. So now it's one of those things where like, all right, here we go. And I think Mizzou now looking at it from a lens that's 6 months, 7 months away, it's time to show that you can be a basketball team in this SEC as well as you were last year, but now it's time to actually win when it matters.
Well, and now this is where the pressure really mounts for a guy like Denny Gates, right? You're doing all the good things right now and assembling all this talent. Now you're going to have the hardest job in the world. You've got basically 6 months to get these guys who have never played together to find a way to play together and win basketball games. And it's not like you can say, oh, you know, we've got this guy in the system or this guy in the system. Ain't nobody been in any system ever in any college basketball program, right? So you have to look at it from that standpoint. Now this is where coaching can really impact in getting these guys to mold and to gel and to play together, because sometimes in the NIL days, man, and I'll just be honest, you got a team, but you got a bunch of individuals as well out there. And the guys who are going to win are the coaches that can find a way to take the individual in this out and make it all about that team. And that's going to be hard to do. Guys are making money. They're 18-year-old kids, 20-year-old kids. Everybody's about themselves at that age. I don't blame them. And so that's where good coaching is going to come in, to find a way to bridge that gap of all these guys making money. Most won't be around for another year. How do we get these guys to play as a team and to buy into what we're doing for this season? Because that's going to be tough to do, I think, for a lot of coaches.
Not only that, like Mizzou, Kansas, man, like you went and got a player, which they won't be able to talk about it today on Cody and Gold, but I was talking to Drew Nixon and Alex. Like Tiller's a guy that would have stayed at Kansas and probably would have been close fringe All-American under the Bill Self realm that we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
And what's even sweeter is you got the rival from across the state went and snatched him, and now he's going to be a main focus on their team. So Dennis Gates, it's time, man. Like now it's time to be that guy.
KU fans, I don't think should feel you're right about the past prototypical KU player.
They won't care
and he
until
doesn't
they
exist
play each
anymore.
other.
Yeah.
But exactly. And I
Yeah.
don't think it's too – I mean, he averaged 8 points his freshman season. It's not a lot. He played 25 minutes a game, or I think maybe closer to 30 minutes a game. But you did see spurts. I got a chance to go to the Arizona game at home where Darren Peterson, 5 minutes before the game, you know, had the sniffles and he sat out.
Right.
Bryson Tiller carried the Kansas Jayhawks for the first half of that game and kept them in it. I've seen
Probably got him that deal at Mizzou.
Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe.
Seriously.
But I've seen spurts where he can score and enough to where I think the talent alone can be exciting for Mizzou Tigers. So it's a situation where Mizzou can be excited, but KU can also not be distraught that they lost a guy like Tiller. But for Dennis Gates, to your point, the talent is there, as is with the incoming freshmen and the other transfers. But talk about a team. We're just talking about the Royals waiting for the other shoe to drop. Talk about a team locally that you just wait for the other shoe to drop. It's Mizzou Athletics.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And I look at this one and I'm like, okay, this is the first guy in the history of the Border War to transfer in men's basketball from one program to the next. And if this is 10 or 15 years ago, that's probably not happening, right? But also, too, with Tiller, if he doesn't have that Arizona game that everybody was tuned into, he's probably not making that money. We see it in pro sports all the time. How many times a Super Bowl MVP gets paid or a World Series MVP gets paid, and they go to that next team, and then they never live up to what they did in that game.
Don't say that about the last Super Bowl.
I know. I'm just, but you see it happen a lot where you pay guys based off their postseason or one big performance. And I think Tiller probably got money based on that one performance against Arizona, and we're going to see that happen a lot. That's human nature. That's normal to do.
That's life.
That's
Coming
right.
up, we'll give Mac an award for him being gone for a couple of days. Kind of deserved. 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control want to make your yard look like my yard, and that is awesome, outstanding, fantastic, and the best on the block. You better believe it's the best on the block because Aspen Lawn knows what they are doing. We have tried and tried again to get our yard to look good, and we failed every time for a decade. So finally, I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm calling the good folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, and I'm putting their college-educated professionals on this lawn, and they came out and they turned it into the best lawn on the block. No weeds, no dandelions, no crabgrass. It is the perfect lawn. It is awesome. I love walking around it barefoot. I love just looking at it and going, man, that hard work that Aspen put in is really paying off. And they can do it for you as well. They offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. And right now, they're going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Breaking news for your home. Wayday. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home. Like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Wayday long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Wayday. Shop Wayfair's Wayday from April 25th through 27th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee.
This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase. 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
With 2 kids and 4 sports, sometimes we don't even have time to eat, and that means sometimes we can't get to the store. That's when Hy-Vee saves the day. We love ordering our groceries online and having them delivered. It saves us so much time, and it's easy. Just download the app or go to Hy-Vee.com. Choose your store, select your items, and Hy-Vee does all the shopping. All I have to do is pick up my order or have it delivered to my home, which is free, by the way, with my Perks Plus membership. Save time, save money. What could be better? Only at Hy-Vee.
Draft coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Back at it here on Fescoe and Dusty. Nathan Williams holding it down for Mac Maury. You'll be back with us Monday. We won't be here tomorrow. As we've said probably 1,500 times today, we'll be flying to New York after the show. I've never been, so wish me luck. Say a prayer for me. You think on New York radio they say do nice things for people? Get out of my freaking way. Yeah. Get home safe, and I take a sandwich. All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow on New York Live. And then the breaking news that we just got to was Bryson Tiller.
Yep.
He's at Mizzou, so the drive should be lit today. You got Brett Veach coming up in about 15 minutes to talk to y'all about draft. So Cody and Gold on from 10 to 11. Then Vern kicks off his on-deck show. And then monitor the Detroit weather, because I won't be.
I know, I won't be either.
I'll be on my phone seeing like what inning it is, click on it, because I won't have service. Wonder if that game's like televised today, like nationally.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah. It'd be cool if they had that on the in-flight viewing.
Yeah, probably not, though.
People just put on like Fantasia.
Yeah. Whatever you want.
Yeah. So Max on his bachelor party. Did you get an invite?
No, I did not. Did you?
I did not,
Yeah.
and I haven't discussed it yet.
Nope.
And I didn't want to like ruin his time. So when he comes back Tuesday, it's gonna be kind of one of those, bachelor party, man. Like,
quite honestly, we don't want to hear about it.
We planned the trip afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had this trip planned like back in before Mac had his trip planned.
Yeah.
In Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And no explanation. I get it. You're with us every day of the week. You probably see enough of us.
Yep.
But no, like, hey, I'm not sure if you guys are interested or not. No big deal if you don't want to go. My bachelor party is going to be in April. Just thought I'd ask you guys. No. Richard of the Week.
Richard of the Week. Yep.
That is such a pro move by Mac.
Yeah.
Like, so what move?
Pro move.
Pro. Like if he doesn't want you guys there, he picks a weekend. You guys already have a trip planned.
No, he planned his first.
Oh, okay.
We planned ours after. This was kind of like a spontaneous. I was like, "Isn't your birthday like the 19th?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "The Royals and Yankees are playing each other on the 19th. That'd be a cool game to go to." I got a call like an hour later. Hey, so we're gonna go to New York.
Yeah, book it.
All right, let's go.
That's one thing about life.
Yeah.
I mean, money you spend on, I read a tweet this morning. It was like money that you spend on a good meal, a trip, or something nice is not wasted money at all. It's money that you need to spend. And so I'm all about experiences and doing things and taking my kids everywhere we possibly can. That's what my parents did for us. We hop into the Toyota minivan and drove up and down the East Coast every summer, right? Saw every battlefield known to man from the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, right? It's hills. Not a lot out there, but we saw every one of them. I had that experience, and so I think it's important to pass that, that experience along. And so Dusty's like, "Yeah, I'd like to go to New York." Well, let's go. Let's book the flight and go. You're single. You got nobody to worry about. I'm, married. I have nobody to worry about at this point in time. My kids are driving. They don't need me anymore. See you later. Let's go. And so we planned the trip. But then Mac has this bachelor party. Didn't even consider inviting us to this bachelor party. So
insane. Someone says this just means that you guys are acquaintances, not friends.
That's right.
From the 913.
That's fine.
From the 913, you guys are Richards. You're expecting an invite. It's a bachelor party, not a coworker party. Get over yourself.
Oh, my God. We're joking. My God.
I guess it's not joked.
Oh, my God. Talk about somebody really getting bent over that. Jeez, sir. Learn how to take a joke.
Nah, Mac's still a Richard.
Yeah,
that's probably somebody on Mac's bachelor.
Probably
trip,
so.
That gentleman.
Yeah. No, and I'm look, man. Work is work. Friends are friends. I get all. We're just busting Mac's, chops right now, and because we knew he wouldn't hear, he wouldn't be able to defend himself, and we wouldn't want to put him on the spot like that. But we will on Tuesday or whenever he's back, right?
And Mac will gladly accept. He'd be like, "Thanks for the invite to the New York trip."
Yeah, exactly.
We'd be like, "Well,
Yeah, well, you weren't
because we
invited.
didn't even know that his bachelor party was this weekend."
Yeah.
Oh, Royals lineup's out.
Oh, it is.
You ready for it?
Yeah, I am. Let's
River
go.
Royals lineup. Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, Carter Jensen, Jonathan India, Jack Caglione, Michael Massey, Kyle Isbell, with Bubich on the slab.
I can live with that lineup. If all the guys are doing what they're supposed to do in
3
a
and 4.
perfect world, I can live with that lineup.
I look at 3
But
and 4.
the 3 and 4 are still not hitting, and they're still hitting 3 and 4.
Carter Jensen catching, Salvador Perez DHing.
But there's a step in the right direction. Give Salvi a half day off, day game after night game. Caught last night. I know all the baseball excuses out there, but those are the things that they will tell you, and those are the rules that they follow in baseball. So you give the catcher the opportunity. But his bat isn't good enough at this point in time to put in the lineup. Who would you want in there, Bob? Then my response at this time would be whomever. Really, at this point in time, whomever is okay. It's okay to give Salvador Perez a day off. I know what it's like, man. We're all getting older. It ain't easier. No matter what it is that you do for a living, as you get older, it doesn't get easier. And then you're doing it against guys that are, basically half your age right now. Guys weren't even born when you made your debut 11 years ago. You get what I'm saying. He's been around a long time. It's okay to have a day off. It's okay to need a rest. It's okay to take a break. And also, too, when you're 0 for 21 with runners in scoring position. Now, again, that's not the end-all, be-all of stats. The eye test is for me. And right now, both Salvi and Vinny, they do look completely lost at the plate. And a day off would be a good thing for both of them. That's not a bad thing.
Well, the good news is no Lane Thomas in the lineup. So according to Royals Twitter, we should expect like 10 runs today because he is public enemy number 1.
Yeah.
More so than even Vinny and Salvi. So, that is until he pinch hits for Isbell in the 8th inning and we lose our collective minds.
Right. But see, honest to God, like we waste so much time worrying about players that don't make a difference, man. Like Lane Thomas, who cares if he's in the lineup? Salvi and Vinny aren't hitting. And until they start doing their job, I don't care about Lane Thomas.
I needed him to catch the ball in center field.
Well,
last
you'd
night.
like that.
It didn't
yeah.
really, yeah. But that's, I look, and maybe this is more fuel to Cags. Man, last night he did everything he was supposed to do. He looked great at the plate, had a great play in the outfield, and it's like, still hitting 7.
Right.
It's like, okay, keep fueling that fire. Because eventually you'll have to make that change at 3 and 4 if those guys can't withstand their own weight in the batter's box.
Hell, I really like the switch of 1 and 2 as well. Have Bobby lead off. Nobody's pitching to him. Get on, and then have one of your better bats in Garcia. Guy who could handle the bat and put the ball in different positions. Have him bat second with an opportunity to drive Bobby in. That's the change that I would make. I think that would be a really good change.
We had mentioned Brett Veach will be on the airwaves to start Cody and Gold show at 10 o'clock. Coming up on the drive later today, Bryson Tiller. He'll be on the drive with Carrington Harrison. So you'll get the decision and explanation of why he chose Mizzou, as CDOT will have Bryson Tiller on the show.
Yeah, because that's a unique thing. Back in the day, that doesn't happen. I would never think about going to the University of Missouri. Now, it doesn't matter. That's where the rivalries are gone now, too, with all this NIL.
Can you imagine during the Frank Haith years if a player transferred between
Oh,
those
God.
two schools? It would be the number one story. We would do all 4 hours on that
I
transfer.
know. How could you do that? What's going on with the rivalry? But the rivalry went away for 10 years, and kids don't really know that Kansas and Missouri are that type of rivals because we didn't have it for over a decade. And now it's back in some form. I know basketball plays every year and football plays every 5th year or whatever it is, with that. So the rivalry isn't to that level that it used to be. But if it ever was, like if it was Norman Roy coaching, you would never see anything like that happen where a guy would transfer between. Now, also, they were in the same conference for 100 years. They're not in the same league anymore. So things have changed. Everything has changed.
This comes from 247 Sports. These are your top 5 overall class rankings. There's still a couple of spots left to fill with rosters. Number 5, Arkansas. Number 4, Indiana. Number 3, Texas. Number 2, Maryland. Number 1, the Missouri Tigers.
How about that?
Would you be more or less surprised preseason if they're not ranked?
Oh, I'd be more surprised, probably. Yeah. I mean, you got number 1. Is it called a recruiting class now? Is this what we're doing every year?
Going into the season, like pre-ranked,
What are we calling it? Seriously.
It says overall class
rankings, I guess, because you can't call them recruiting classes anymore because you're not really recruiting anybody at this point in time. Now, maybe if you have some freshmen that come in, that can be a recruiting class, but I don't think we're going to see the true recruiting class stuff anymore. I think you're just going to see classes each year who has the best roster because you can't do more than year to year. Like, you're not projecting into the future like baseball loves to do with minor leagues. Oh, in a couple of years, we got this guy, he can be really good. You can't do that in college sports anymore. You don't know how to project ahead because chances are probably 90% on football and men's basketball, those guys are not going to be part of your team next year. So there is no projecting forward. There is no, trying to get guys a little experience this year so we can use them again next year. There's no law that says these guys got to stay around anymore for multiple years.
There's just not loyalty with programs anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. I mean, that if you're still on that hill, I mean, then you've totally lost your mind.
Gold
right?
kind of like facetiously said that when I went out there. I was like, all right, because CDOT's out there rolling around. And I was like, national championship or bust. Drew kind of smirks. Then Alex goes, yeah, no loyalty anymore. Guess there's no loyalty.
Yeah, and if there was a good player from Mizzou that transferred to Kansas, he wouldn't care either. But no, why
there's no
should
loyalty.
There be?
He wore whatever that team was that was playing Drew's team.
Exactly right. Yeah,
you wouldn't do that if you're loyal. You don't wear another team's jersey.
No, you don't do that.
So I told Drew he's got to go get a Tiller jersey that says Mizzou on it.
That would be funny. I do like that idea, right? That would be really good. But yeah, no loyalty anymore. Why should anybody have loyalty? Why should any player have loyalty? Why should anybody anywhere have loyalty? You have loyalty to yourself. And then if somebody wants to pay you more, you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have a lot of loyalty to Louisville, too, if they gave me $5 million to go play basketball. Hey, you guys all have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday in Kansas City. Enjoy the weather today. It looks great. Go to the Landing. Get an $8 cheeseburger. Enjoy happy hour. Go do nice things for people. You never know. Change their day, their week, their month, their year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay kind, stay safe, stay groovy. We will talk to you on Monday morning. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Hi, this is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, certified financial planner, and the host of the Jill on Money podcast. With the new year upon us, there's no better time to take control of your financial life. And the Jill on Money podcast is here to help. It's your questions that make it possible for me to provide unconventional and I hope entertaining insights on your money and more importantly, on your life. Follow and listen to Jill on Money wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. BetMGM, authorized gaming partner of the NBA, has a special offer for the playoffs. Sign into your existing BetMGM account and snag a NBA playoff odds boost token. Then take your shot at scoring more on your next win. Simply log in, add qualifying bet on the NBA playoffs.